Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers will join us live from Winnipeg from 3 to 5 today. 3 to 5, Jamie will be on with us. We will also talk to Brad Thompson following the Cardinals-Reds Game 1, which is now heading to the bottom of the ninth, where the Cardinals are up 6-0. They entered the ninth inning only up 1. They collected 1 run in the first inning off a Mason Wynn home run, and then nobody scored until the top of the ninth when the Cardinals hit back-to-back homers. Scott. Back-to-back. Excuse me, I left out a back. Scott hit a home run. Newbar hit a home run. Wynn hit a home run. It is now 6-0 heading into the bottom of the ninth at the Great American Small Park. So the offense came alive late. Things look good. Reds still have to bat, but it looks like the Cardinals are going to take the second game of this matchup against Cincinnati. So again, we'll talk to Brad Thompson. Anthony Becht will join us at 4:30. Battlehawks head coach, and like I said before, we will break things down for Game 5 tonight between the Blues and the Jets, with Jamie between 3 and 5. Pre-game tonight at 7:30. The puck will drop at 8:30. I think the story of this game, besides the ninth inning heroics, CD, is Miles Michaelis. The starting staff for the Cardinals continues to pitch very well. Now, he only went 5 1/3. He gave up 3 hits, 0 runs, no walks, and 4 Ks. But if you were following along to the game, the reason why he only went 5 1/3 is because Oli made a decision in the bottom of the 6th inning to remove Michaelis after he got into a bit of a jam. Mm-hmm. And these are those situations, Carey, that we rarely talk about when it comes to winning and losing ball games. Oli made the decision to go to Kyle Leahy, who's been one of the few members of the bullpen who's pitched well thus far for the Cardinals. He decides to go to Leahy, and Leahy gets 2 quick outs, gets the Cardinals out of the jam. The lead is preserved, and they move forward. But that's a spot where it's not analytics, because analytics is just information. Mm-hmm. That's a situation, though, that Oli Marmol says, I got to get this game here. The game could be right here, and I'm gonna manage accordingly. So if we're gonna rip Oli for every bad move he makes, let's give him a little credit for today, because that move worked out, and then the offense came alive in the top of the 6th, and now they're up 6-0.
Yeah, and he brought in Kyle Leahy, who, they had Gavin Lux up to bat. You could have brought in a lefty. Most times you go lefty-lefty, but he trusted one of his better relievers from this year.
Good call.
Going with Kyle Leahy, and Kyle Leahy was able to get the side out and not run into any issues. So, that is a good decision. It's a good managerial move that no one will talk about because it worked out how it was supposed to do. Normally, that's when you go to your bullpen, you have conviction in the person that you're bringing in.
Right.
And with the expectation that they're going to get the guys out. And when they do, nobody speaks about it. And when they don't, that was a dumb decision.
Right.
You can't manage. You stink. Not you, Anthony, but, people in that position.
I might.
So, yeah, there's give credit where credit is due, or don't always blame when it's not always the manager's fault.
Right.
Like, it's...
Or just realize he's got decisions to be made.
And again, this comes with the territory. Like, you're a manager of a professional baseball team. Every decision is going to be scrutinized. It's going to be under the magnifying glass. People are going to pick apart the things that don't work. But there are tons of decisions. He could have went with a lefty in that situation. He could have went with JoJo Romero and could have been in the right mind, said, hey, it's lefty versus lefty. I want to get this guy out. But he went with the guy he trusted the most in that situation and was able to get him out of there.
Yeah, I think if we take a step back and just say, what is the manager's job? Obviously, it's to manage the game and know when the game could be won or lost in a certain spot. In this instance, one of the key moments was not waiting until the 9th inning, but figuring out the 6th. And that's what Oli did. He managed accordingly, and it worked out. If Kyle Leahy goes in there and gives up a 3-run jack,
people are looking, why didn't you bring a lefty in?
Or they're saying, why did you remove Miles Michaelis? Damn analytics.
Well, it was time. Miles had given up 2 back-to-back singles. He had performed really well, but you kind of know your guys. You know when they're at the end of the rope, end of the course. Hey, it's time to get another guy in and let him try to finish this out.
He was only at 77 pitches too, CD. I don't think that this was a slam dunk decision.
I do.
He could have said, hey, it's your game. You've pitched well to this point. We've seen managers do that before. Not just Oli. We've seen managers say, I'm going to give my guy an opportunity to win.
If he did that with Sonny Gray, cool. If he did that with Matthew Liberatore, cool. I think anyone else at this point, Andre Palante, cool. But if it was Fetty, maybe Fetty. Maybe it's just Miles Michaelis. Maybe he's the odd man out. I just ran through that.
You did.
I just processed that all quickly in my brain.
Yes,
and as
you did
I was
a lot.
going
You
through
processed it outward.
I was like, no. Yep. Which one of these does not belong? You remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
That one. You get him out of there.
Miles.
No offense. He's probably a really good guy.
He pitched well today. The Cardinals are going to win game 1 of the doubleheader today. So they took game 2 of the series, and they'll play the rubber match tonight in Cincinnati.
How about Mason Wynn, though? We had a lot of questions about Mason Wynn at the beginning of the season. He then, gets injured, comes back, and it seems like the bat's starting to heat up for him.
It's nice to see after he struggled in spring training, too. So Mason Wynn had a rough spring. He enters the season. He struggles. They had a carryover effect for Mason Wynn from spring to the regular season. He struggled at the start of the regular season. Then he gets hurt. And then, like you said, Marshy comes back. And now he's hitting second for the Cardinals, which is nice. I think Newpar's done a great job at leadoff, so you don't have to remove him. And now you've got, I don't want to say a formidable top of the lineup, but maybe you're building to that. Mason Wynn right now, his average is up to 250. Not great, not where you want it to be, but again, at least it's on the upswing. Mason Wynn today, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 2 driven in. 6-0 win for the Cardinals over the Reds, and I'm sure we'll break it all down here with Brad Thompson coming up in a couple of minutes. Lars Nootbaar at the top of the order, 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. The middle order guys, Brendan Donovan and Nolan Arenado, 0 for 9. But the bottom of the order, Poso, who's hitting .333, he collected 2 hits, and Victor Scott is just he's a dude thus far. He had another couple of hits, home run. He's up to 272.
He's a good player.
It's fun to watch Victor Scott play.
And I'm glad that he did everything that he was supposed to do in spring training. I'm glad that once he did that, the Cardinals decided to, okay, you earned this role. We're going to give you this opportunity. You're not going to have to worry about somebody hovering over you every time you come up to the plate. He's gotten his opportunity. He was able to stick his foot in the door. Now he's just kicking the door down. So I'm happy to see him playing and playing well. We knew what his defense was going to be. Offensively, he's been really, really pleasant to watch.
Victor Scott, too, going back to him, I went to the game on Friday night, and we were sitting in the left field. No.
Oh.
For opposite of that.
Oh,
we were in left field. We're under the big Mac land.
Gotcha.
We're under that.
Mm-hmm.
And my son, Killian, who's just starting to get into baseball, his eyes went to Victor Scott immediately because Victor Scott went from second to third on a fly ball. Mm-hmm. I kind of said, hey, listen, if they can move him over, because I was trying to explain to him how you move guys over and the importance of that. And his eyes just immediately zeroed in on Victor Scott, who went second to third. He's like, man, Dad, he's fast. I said, yeah, he's fun to watch. And then he made a couple of nice plays in center field as well. When we talk about personality, we talk about marketability, I think Victor Scott's another one of these players. The Cardinals are starting to build a little collection for themselves. Mason Wynn, Contreras is a guy that is easy. It's easy to root for. Mm-hmm. Donovan, same thing. And then you add Victor Scott to the mix. One, he's got to be a good player, but two, if he's got the likability factor, I think that's good too.
So I know what I was going to say. Remember a couple weeks ago or last week, I was like, I forgot. It was at some point, I think, and we saw it today with Mason Wynn batting in the 2-hole. At some point, I think you see Victor Scott, and Lars has been doing great. But the speed that those two have at the top of the lineup, 1 and 2, and then you got to have somebody. I love Brendan Donovan. I don't think he's a natural 3-hole hitter. I think that's going to be, depending on who can fill that role. Maybe it's Wilson Contreras, maybe it's Nolan Gorman, maybe it's Jordan Walker. One of those guys, and that be your 1, 2, 3. You get those guys on to set the table, and I think you are putting yourself in a great position to continue to win games.
I don't mind that idea at all. I actually like him being at the bottom of the order, to have speed at the bottom of the order. So when those guys do come up and he's on base, then you have some speed right there as well. So when the lineup flips over, not only do you have the guys that can get on base, but you have a dude that can go from first to third in the blink of an eye, it seems like.
Absolutely. Fastest human being in Major League Baseball right now.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy with the Rays is pretty good.
Was it Simpson?
Yeah,
Victor Scott.
No,
Guys.
It's that young man.
Nobody watches the Rays. They're not even playing at Tropicana, unfortunately.
Well.
George M. Steinbrenner Stadium.
It's
spring training facility.
It's actually in Tampa, though.
It is in Tampa. You're right.
In comparison to Tropicana, which is in St. Pete.
Yeah.
So they are technically the Tampa Bay Rays at this moment. They're truly the Tampa Bay.
Of course, George Steinbrenner, though, was the Yankees owner back in the day.
Don't worry about that.
No. Well, at least they can fill their ballpark.
Very true. I don't know if they're doing that, though. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Brad Thompson will join us next. We'll carry over the Cardinals conversation with him. Pick his brain on the Cardinals 6-0 win over the Reds. Next in the Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
We're hanging with Brad Thompson on 101 ESPN.
Hanging breaking ball from Brad Thompson. And boy, does he get a swing on it. Lift and separate and see you later.
Hanging with BT is sponsored by St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by Health Grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
Cardinals get it done today in Cincinnati. Game 1 of their doubleheader with the Reds. It's really nice to talk to our next guest following a win. Brad Thompson was on the call for FanDuel Sports Network with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and let's head to the Callier and Thompson phone line to talk to our Brad Thompson here on 101 ESPN. BT, how are you?
Guys, I'm doing great. We should do this more often after wins. You just keep calling me on the road usually after a loss. This is way better.
Yeah, no. We want to call you after wins. Cardinals just have to participate.
I want to receive that too. I get it. Yeah, everybody's in on this.
Hey, BT, CD and I were just talking about this. I thought that the decision for Oli to go out and get Miles Michaelis wasn't an easy one. Miles was only at 77 pitches, but Oli must have sensed that the game was to be won and lost right there, and he went with Kyle Leahy instead of going lefty-lefty. I think this is one of those moments where we overlook an excellent decision by a manager, and it wound up, you wound up winning the game. Did you feel like the game was kind of in the balance at that juncture too?
100% at that point, and all the credit goes to Miles Michaelis. First of all, he was great, 5 1/3, right? Didn't give up a run, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. He was really good, but third time around is a trouble for most starting pitchers, and Miles Michaelis definitely falls into that. Friedel lead things off with a hit. Then Ellie De La Cruz after the review. You've got runners on first and second with 1 out. Like, that was a spot where you just felt like you had to do something. Kyle Leahy has been so good. Cardinals have played nothing but tight games. It just made sense to go with him. He got the pop out of Gavin Lux. He got Noel B. Marte to ground out and just did a fantastic job, as did the rest of the bullpen, right? The Leahy got those 2 outs, then gave you a scoreless frame in the 7th. JoJo gave you the scoreless 8th, and then Matt Swanson came in to shut things down after the Cardinals powered up. But you're right, that was a very solid move at that time, and probably the matchups that they wanted. Had he been able to go 1, 2, 3, you'd have let him go, but they went and got him and had a trusted reliever there.
BT, talk to me about Victor Scott. He goes 2 for 3. He has a stolen base. He hits a home run. What are you seeing from this young man in his maturation in his second year?
Adjustments, man, and that's how you stay in any league, is you make adjustments and you continue to work, and that's exactly what Victor Scott II has been able to do. You watch some of his at-bats from a year ago, and there's so much movement and so many moving parts, and the bat is loopy, and the hands are getting away from him. Right now, the hands are closer to his body. His load up is more in his legs than it is his hands moving, and he's quick to the baseball. So the couple of hits today, obviously the home run being the big shot, the 3-run blast, but in the 3rd inning, he got a cutter that was up above the zone, fast hands, right? Just slapped it into right center field. He drew the walk, stole a base, as you mentioned, and then the idea of the 3-run home run was just, he's not thinking homer. He's not thinking about getting the ball in the air. You can tell he's thinking about how fast can I get this barrel of the bat to the baseball. And those small adjustments from a year ago have made a big difference. And you can just tell the changes too, Carey, in his approach up there. It's not just the swing, it's the pitches that he's offering at. And your approach is going to be different per the pitcher. It's not always going to be the same thing. But you can tell a lot of times he'll give you the inner half. Like if you're going to dot a fastball in under his hands or something like that, or a slider in there, he'll give you that until he gets 2 strikes and you got a battle. But if you let something leak out over the plate a little bit, he's going to fire on it. And he's been true to his approach, true to his swing, and true in putting in the work every single day to get better and better, dude. It's been fun to see.
Brad Thompson joining us right now from Cincinnati, where the Cardinals just defeated the Reds in Game 1 of their doubleheader, 6-0. BT, staying with the offense, they're 3rd in batting average in all of Major League Baseball. They're 7th in on-base percentage. Slugging's dipped a little bit. They're 11th, but we were talking about this team being top 5 in a lot of critical offensive categories a couple of weeks ago. What has the new hitting coach, Brant Brown, done to help maybe with the young players specifically?
Yeah, so I'm not privy to be in the meetings,
sure,
but from talking to those around him and those in him, he's as detailed as anybody else in the league on approach and how you are going to attack each pitcher, how they're going to attack you. and not as a blanket as a team. Hey, guys, we're going to lay off the slider. Hey, guys, we're going to do this. No, it's like, Wilson, you're going to do this. Nolan, what are you going to do? Okay, I think of this. What do you think? Like, their meetings are so detailed, and it's not just for the starter. It's for a little bit of everybody. Like, you have these meetings about the relievers. You talk about it in between innings when a new reliever is coming in. So I think that Brant Brown has just done a great job of being able to communicate and break things down to each individual player to help them succeed. Is it going to work every day? No. Some guys are going to execute pitches, or sometimes you just get out even if you have a great game plan and everything works. Sometimes, that's how baseball goes. But I feel like he's just done a really nice job of communicating, having the guys prepared, and then being there and putting in the work with each and every one of them each day.
BT, obviously you love to see the home runs. I'm sure that I couldn't hear the TV. I would assume Ryan Helsley was warming up in the bullpen, ready to come in for the save. How important is it for him to still get those opportunities, even if you need him to pitch more, and there are times where he's not getting those opportunities because of the score, whether you're up by a lot or down by a lot?
Yeah, you like saving them, especially in this game, right, CD? Because you got a doubleheader. You probably wouldn't use them on back ends of it. But you're all right. There are going to be times where, as a closer, it's feast or famine, and sometimes you end up having to get into a game that is not a save situation. But I think he knows his role so well now, and he knows what he needs to stay ready. So a lot of times in that role, you get a little touch and feel off the mound maybe before a game, or maybe if you can see it's a game that you're not going to end up getting in, you throw yourself a light little bullpen. You're always working on your craft and your skills. But I feel like it was a very important one right there, a nice one, to be able to not have him with a night game coming tonight. But he hasn't pitched, since the Brewers series on the 26th. He's had a few days off. He will be well rested, but there's going to be a run of games in the next, hopefully week or so where he needs to answer the bell 3 out of 4 days, and he'll be ready for that.
Brad Thompson joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. BT, Mason Wynn obviously had a big day. He had a couple of home runs. He looks like he's starting to find his form. And in some respects, you're like, hey, he had a big rookie season, so not utterly surprising, but you watched a lot of his spring training. He struggles. Then he gets into the regular season, a couple of weeks, he struggled, then gets injured. What has Mason Wynn done to find his groove again?
Yeah, it's still having a game plan and putting in the work, and I think that his game plan has been better. He will fall into tendencies sometimes of pulling off the baseball, but he gets right back into his swing, and I love the move. Obviously, you love any move that works out, right? But they decided since he has come back from the IL, he's taken some of your most consistent at-bats. He's hitting over 330 since coming back, and Contreras is not hitting for power, had a hit streak going on, but not really hitting for power. So move him down a little bit, move Mason Wynn up. You get a little bit more speed at the top of the lineup. I don't know if you were expecting, I don't think that Oli drew it up and saying, well, I got 2 home runs waiting for me now in the 2 holes. But I think it is those constant adjustments. It is, his preparation every single day. And I do think that there is something, you guys know this, like if you're a young player and you get thrust into a role, maybe you're getting more snaps, CD, or you're getting more minutes on the court, or you're getting moved up in a lineup, that gives you a little boost, like a little swagger, and I feel like he brought that into the game today.
It gives you a boost, but you would also say it's probably some protection behind you with Brendan Donovan, who has been hitting as well as he is. Do you think that helped as well, him seeing better pitches? Because, Brendan Donovan is more than likely going to make contact and get on base or drive that run in.
No, I think it's a great call, too. That is a great call because, that was something that our good buddy Chris Duncan used to always talk about. Now, with all due respect to Brendan Donovan, it was a little bit different when he was hitting in front of Albert Pujols.
A little bit, just a little bit, BT, just a little bit.
Yeah, same, whatever, right? But there is something to that, right? The guy in front of the 3-hole has got a chance sometimes to see a few more pitches. So there's a lot of layers that go into it, but it worked, and we'll see how long that works. I don't know if that's the ideal spot for Mason Wynn. Maybe it ends up being for him. I think that you could add a guy like Herrera, the way that he was hitting the ball whenever he comes back off the IL, and he's going to go on a rehab in the next couple of days. You could think about him in that spot as well. But that's the fun part, and I know the staff every night after games, I mean, they're getting together as a crew. They try to make up their lineups for like 5, 6, 7 days ahead of the time, and they oftentimes change, but you're trying to build in rest days, and you're trying to keep everybody fresh. But that's the fun part for them, is trying to figure out the best way for it to fit together for everyone to have their success, and they found a little bit there today with Mason Wynn in the 2-hole.
Well, Brad, we know you got a little downtime before you got to get ready for the second game of the doubleheader, which is 5:40 local time. So we'll let you go. Love having you on, man. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
Guys, I appreciate it. I miss you. Chip and I are going to sit here and eat Skyline chili and then not let each other use the restroom for the rest of the day. We'll see how this goes.
That's a dangerous mission. Good luck. Tell Chip we said hello.
Those are the kind of games we play.
We'll see you, brother.
All right, see you guys.
Later. That's Brad Thompson, our good buddy, FanDuel Sports Network color analyst, of course, for the Cardinals. As the Cardinals win today 6-0, and they will try to take the series at 5:40 when they send Steven Matz to the hill against Petty, who I imagine is an opener for the Reds. I think he's a reliever. No, he's a starter. Chase Petty. There you go. Cardinals try to take 2 of 3 in Cincinnati. It's a good win today, man. 1-0 going into the ninth, and then you break things open. Miles Michaelis solid. The bullpen was good today, and we haven't been able to say that too much throughout the month of April. CD.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. There's not often when a 35-second 8-0 run to cap a game is not the story of the game. We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN.
BT back here with you for my friends over at Diamonds Direct. You know Mother's Day is coming up soon, right? Check the calendar. It is coming up. It is right around the corner. You know, flowers fade, they die, and let's be honest, you wait till the last minute, you probably go to the grocery store, get some bad ones. That ain't doing the job, okay? Fine jewelry doesn't fade. It's time to celebrate that special mom in your life with a classic piece from Diamonds Direct. Now, maybe she likes classic, maybe she likes modern, or somewhere in between. I promise you, you are going to find the perfect gift over at Diamonds Direct. Maybe some diamond stud earrings. I got my wife a pair of those a couple of years ago. She wears them every day. Like, they're absolutely beautiful. Maybe that special mom in your life would like an elegant pendant. Whatever it is, they got you covered. Seriously, it's like shopping 30 jewelry stores at once over at Diamonds Direct. You can find anything from a $500 necklace or, if you're my buddy Chip, a $500,000 diamond. They've got it all over at Diamonds Direct. You want to get in. You want to check it out. And by the way, if you want something personalized for mom, that's where the true experts shine over at Diamonds Direct. They can do birthstone jewelry, symbolic pieces, custom art, as one of a kind as that special mom in your life is. Check them out. Go online. Go to diamondsdirect.com and get into the showroom at Olive and 270 at City Place. It's Diamonds Direct.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals pick up a 6-0 victory over the Cincinnati Reds in Game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader today. Game 2 will be at 5:40, so we'll have the lineup game for game number 2 later in the show, so stay tuned for that. If you missed our conversation with Brad Thompson about this first game, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Blues take on the Jets tonight, Game 5 of this first-round matchup. The pregame for you right here on 101 ESPN is at 7:30 with puck drop at 8:30. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Against Giannis. Hellebuyck reset. Puts it in. He put it in. 1 3/10. There's no timeout. No timeouts for the Bucks.
You know, as far as the incident between Giannis and my pops, I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video. Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with, you know, what transpired there from him.
I believe like being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta talk shit. And you know, it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree.
Well, that was some of the sounds from last night in Indiana, where the Pacers defeated the Bucks 119-118 in overtime to win their first-round playoff series in Game 5. Dramatic finish. The Pacers trailed 118-111 with 35 seconds left in overtime, but closed out the game on an 8-0 run, capped off by Tyrese Haliburton, who you just heard. It was Giannis that was the last voice. Mm-hmm. It was Haliburton that spoke the first time. Mm-hmm. Haliburton got past Giannis, drove to the basket, hit a layup with 1.3 seconds remaining, and the Pacers capped off the dramatic comeback with the win. Things escalated from there, though. That's not even the story. The story became Haliburton's father going on the court with a towel and kind of shaking it in front of Giannis's in his direction, but Giannis was staring right at him.
It was in his face.
It was basically in his face without being
Tyrese Haliburton's face on it. He had his son's face on the top.
This is how we do it. Boom, right there.
This is what the F we do.
Giannis, a very large human being, not in the best of moods following the loss.
And who would be?
Got right back in Tyrese Haliburton's face. And things escalated from there. His dad's face, not Tyrese.
Yeah.
He's not that type of person either, Tyrese Haliburton.
No, Tyrese Haliburton. So what happens, emotions are running high. Parents, and this is at the highest level, right? This is the NBA playoffs.
Right.
I've seen this at 7th grade football. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I've seen it at...
Are you kidding me, Blue?
I've seen it.
I didn't get in front of the kids. I didn't get in front of the kids' face.
I've seen it in 3rd grade, pee-wee baseball, from all levels. It's parents that are showing excitement. Now, there's a time and place for that. You don't go on the court. You don't interact with other players, especially in that moment after Giannis just lost a playoff game, going home for the rest of the year. But it's an emotional time. And to John Haliburton, Tyrese's father, to his credit, he did apologize. He put a tweet out. He said, "I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, Pacers organization for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport or my son, and I will not make that mistake again." And for me, it's done, right? It was an emotional moment. He was excited. He felt like he was part of the game. You're not. You didn't play a minute. Your son played a hell of a game. He scored the winning bucket. And you move on, and everybody learns from it. And to Giannis, to me, like, to be a superstar, if you hear him speak, even in that moment, he said, I'm going to talk about it one time and then I'm done talking about it. Yeah. This is what happened. It's not how you should conduct yourself. You know, I've done all of these things. I'm not that type of person. I don't appreciate it. I don't respect it. But I'm sure after he read this tweet or after John Hellebuyck spoke to him at some point, I'm sure Giannis is like, cool, man, it's over. It is what it is. It was an emotional moment. But I think it is a learning moment for every parent out there. Even if your son is in the NBA playoffs, which a lot of y'all sons ain't there yet.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Man, stop. Mm-hmm. You're damn crazy. I'm just being honest. You're damn crazy. Sit your crazy ass down somewhere and let the kids play.
It's not about you.
It ain't about you, man.
Yeah, check the ego.
Go sit your butt down, man. Enjoy, celebrate your team's win. You know, if you're good friends with somebody on the other team and you want to give them a good ribbon, whatever, you want to talk crap to them, you know, do it outside of that play. Don't make it, you know, where it's in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Have fun. Let the kids have fun. John Hellebuyck will learn from it. His son is a grown man, and clearly, you know, it's still tensions run high. But I think it's over. It's done. But it was interesting to see because Giannis is a large person, and he's looking down on John. And it to me, it looked like Giannis had a thought there, like I could really do harm to you, my man, but I won't. But don't ever do that again. Please and thank you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta give people grace when they're idiots, and that's what that was.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. We can move forward. Everybody can move forward from it. But I just viewed it from a parent standpoint. Like you became the story. You took away partly from your son's accomplishment, you know, and the Pacers' accomplishment. If you're a parent, don't become part of the story when your child is having a lot of success. So it was unfortunate to see, but what a comeback. And what a loss, too, for Milwaukee.
I saw earlier, I think it was on First Take or one of those shows, that teams that were up by 7 with 40 seconds left were like 1,600-0.
Oh, my. It's like a Falcon stat.
In the playoffs.
You know what I mean?
That's like in the last 30 years. Like, yeah, you don't usually lose when you're up with that much time, with that little amount of time left. You got to find a way. But the Milwaukee Bucks weren't probably going to win that series. Dame Lillard is out for the year with a torn Achilles. And now Milwaukee got to figure out if Giannis is going to be a Milwaukee Buck going forward.
Yeah, I saw some commentary, not even reports, just commentary about how maybe the Bucks' best path is to trade Giannis.
If he wants to leave,
then you have to, right? Yeah. But I don't know how you get better by trading that dude. But I understand again if he wants to move on.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Blue Devils couldn't get it done. Marsh.
The Milwaukee Blue Devils.
Wow.
The Duke Bucks.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
That was tough.
Wasn't it Duke that blew the?
Yeah. Against Houston.
Yeah. It's a tough look.
How did Houston do?
They lost to Anthony's Gators.
Darn right.
I thought that was the
Gators.
And Gators.
Orange and blue. Yeah, orange and blue.
No.
I don't think so.
There's a lot.
That is cool.
Hey, you like that, don't you?
I do.
You like that?
I wish they win more.
You and I both, brother. Hell, you think I don't?
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is kind of interesting coming off the heels of the Giannis, but when do you stay the course and when do you shake things up? We've seen local teams stay the course and have it work out very well. We have seen national, other teams nationally stay the course and have it blow up on their face. Lakers made a big trade at the deadline to acquire Luka Doncic, and doesn't look like that's going to work out because they're down 3-1. So as a team, how do you know when it's appropriate to stay the course and when do you shake things up? That's next on 101 ESPN. You've seen other big dealers brag about their huge inventory. Then you make then they make you drive all over town just trying to find that vehicle that you spotted maybe online, but not at Auto Centers Nissan. They've got over 800 new and used vehicles, all in one easy location, right off I-55 in McNutt and Herculaneum, minutes from South County. No lot hopping, no headaches, and they've got their Bloom and Vroom sales event going on where you can score big with no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans, no payments for 3 months on used vehicles, a complimentary new car lifetime warranty, and a 30-day new car return promise to go with that 3 oil changes that are included with every new Nissan. Even if your credit's been through a spring shower, they don't care. Their credit experts can help almost any situation. So check them out online at autocentersnissan.com. Peruse that large inventory that they have, and then when you head out to Herculaneum, tell them that Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, where the inventory's big, the savings are bigger, and the nonsense is nowhere to be found. Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Gary Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie will join us in about 15 minutes or so from Winnipeg, and we'll spend the entire 3 o'clock hour breaking down the Blues-Jets matchup, Game 5 tonight. Of course, we've got all the coverage for you right here on 101 ESPN. CD, I had mentioned we were just talking about basketball, the basketball playoffs. The Lakers face elimination tonight. They're down 3-1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They are favored to win tonight, but for all intents and purposes, they've got a long way to go here to get back into this series. They, of course, made the big trade for Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned it from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
They punted defense for more offense. And so far, not that they can't come back, but so far, that has not looked good. Was that a situation where the Lakers should have stayed the course? Or do you think they struck while the iron was hot, they got more offense, and they're just living and dying by that offense?
I think that Nico Harrison knew what Luka Doncic was and felt that the way that he plays defense or does not was not ever going to equal a championship. It would never result in a championship because it's optional for him. And it's frustrating to watch. There are times, and I said this when they traded for him to LA, I said him and LeBron both in the front court watching the play because they're frustrated about not getting a call, not running back on defense, not jogging back, not hustling back. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is LeBron will get down in the defensive stance and attempt to play. I don't think he's a great defender, on-ball defender, but I think off-ball, when you see him chasing down, blocking shots, somebody got past somebody, he's supremely athletic still at 40 years old and can block shots. But staying in front of people, it's not a great job for him all the time. Luka doesn't even try. Like, he's like, man.
Would you call him a cone?
Yeah, a cone. When you watch basketball drills, they got cones that they go around sometimes, and he's
just one of them.
He's just there to provide a little bit of interference, but not going to stop you from getting to where you need to get to.
Sure.
So that's what Luka Doncic is, and he's the Lakers are struggling because of that. And then the game that they just had, the Game 4 or Game 5, I don't know what number we're on.
We're on 5 tonight.
Game 4. J.J. Redick didn't sub any of those guys out the entire second half. They played all 5 starters played the entire second half. Did not come out of the game at no point in the second half. LeBron is 40. Like, he might need a water break. Like, other than just your regularly scheduled timeouts that you have. Like, you might need to sit down for a few minutes. And Luka, he's probably not in great shape. So, making that trade, I think on the outside looking in it, the Lakers got a star, and they are all about stars. But basketball people that are watching the games and understand that Luka is not going to get down in a defensive stance and try to lock anyone up, not even try.
Yeah,
it's a bad trade if it continues to go that way.
So, CD, if we localize this and we talk about the Cardinals and the Blues, the Cardinals, while look, we can. And there's an argument to be made, but we can have the debate of whether or not they waited too long to make their pivot, and they did. But eventually they realized that they had kind of lost their way. They invested a bunch in their offense. They made a couple of significant trades. One really killed them. The other 2 didn't. But they got away from run prevention. They got away from their pitching and defense and really kind of sold out for offense. And now they're paying the price. And they also know that they can't continue to go into free agency and just settle for like the mid-rack players.
Yeah.
They either have to go high shelf or just go all bargain or do what they do, which is investing in their youth, right? Or some combination of it. So the Cardinals knew they had to pivot. They had to shake things up. The Blues in 2019 decided to stay the course, and they won a Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how this series ends up for the Blues, they stayed the course. Once again, at this deadline, it has worked out. It is working out, and it has already worked out.
Yeah.
Because when they stayed the course, not trading away Braden Shen, not that they were going to do this anyways, but some of the chatter was, hey, why don't you get something for Binnington right now? Mm-hmm. They stayed the course. They got on that 12-game winning streak, and now they've got the Jets up against the ropes. Even at 2-2, I still feel like they got them up against the ropes. When you have a young core that you know you can build around, I think staying the course is it's the easy choice. I think if you're nearing the end of a run, knowing that you've got a lot of high-priced players that are no longer equaling the production, even if you're a fringe contender, that's when you should shake it up.
Yeah, I think staying the course, it just depends on what your group is looking like. And I think the Blues did a great job of not panicking. You know, sometimes you panic and say, oh, it's time. We got to do something. We got to make something happen. The difference with Braden Shen at the trade deadline in comparison to Ryan O'Reilly and Vladimir Tarasenko, those guys were upcoming free agents. Like there was nothing else. You were going to have to re-sign them, or you're going to lose them in the offseason anyways.
Right.
So you made the decision to move on from those guys because their contracts were finishing up. Braden Shen is going to be here. There was nothing there was nothing pressing that you had to trade him other than the fact that maybe you could get something back that could help you in the future. But I think Army looked at it and said, you know what? This is our captain. We're not playing to the level that we need to. If they had been playing to the best of their ability and still losing, you probably trade them. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at the games and you're saying, man, we're not even doing the things that the new coach is asking us to do on a nightly basis. Okay, let's try to do that first, and then let's see how it goes. And I think that that's what they did. Collectively, the entire group said, we stink. We aren't playing well enough. We need to start doing the things that are being asked of us on a nightly basis consistently. And when they did that, you saw them start winning. Mm-hmm. You saw them start having success. And even though they didn't do anything at the trade deadline, they did make a trade earlier in the year. They did do the offer sheets in the offseason. So it's like they didn't get anybody back from a long injury like you like saying that's like a trade.
CD, I've never said that. In fact, I always rally against that.
No, you believe that.
No, I don't.
I've heard you say it plenty of times.
CD,
I've heard you. You're the main one that says it.
CD, I know that you are authentic and you are authentically you. Mm-hmm. So you be authentically you. Okay? Don't be Jamie.
Like a trade.
Or Marsh.
All right. I'll be me.
Just continue to bang this drum.
So saying the Sharks is your favorite team is a lie?
Pisses me off.
Okay.
Wait, I'm not authentic.
The Ravens aren't my favorite team either.
What?
Anthony,
I'll fart right in your face. You better watch out.
Oh.
I know you will. You did it last week. Yeah. Okay.
We good? You and I?
Yeah.
All right.
Are we good?
If you break the truce, then you know.
Am I a Sharks fan? That's Andrew Marsh. And he's questioning things right now. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have your shot to score a pair of tickets to see Post Malone and Jelly Roll on May 13th at Busch Stadium. You can text in to win free tickets right now at 314-399-9646. Here's your trivia question for the day. The Cardinals game was on earlier, and now they're showing some like some scenes and things like that from opening days and years past. How many Clydesdales pull the carriage on opening day?
That's a very good question.
How many?
That's a good question. I have a number in my mind, but I'm not sure. But I have a number.
You can tell me what your number is in the break.
All right.
How many Clydesdales pull the carriage on opening day? If you have the correct answer, text in 314-399-9646. And you'll go see Post Malone and Jelly Roll on May 13th at Busch Stadium. Of course, if you're the 101st texter. Find all the details and a bonus chance to register to win free tickets to the show at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. Jamie Rivers will join us next from Winnipeg. How much of the lineup changes for both the Blues and the Jets change the outlook of the series? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. Underdog Fantasy just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their Extender promo. With the Extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoffs. Just start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost. Don't forget to do that. And continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series goes, the bigger the boosts are. When it comes to the NBA playoffs, there's no better way to cash in on your takes on certain players than to play at Underdog. All you have to do is choose higher or lower on certain players' stats. So tonight, for for example. Maybe you like Anthony Edwards to go over points. Maybe you like, I don't know, Steph Curry to go over his higher than his three-pointers. Choice is up to you. Just go higher or lower on those stats, and then, again, you can cash in on your NBA takes, your NHL takes. You can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money at Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that promo code is Anthony. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's time for a Blues playoff report presented by English Sweep Fireplace and Chimney Restoration. Schedule your chimney inspection at EnglishSweep.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 302. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and now Jamie Rivers, who joins us from Winnipeg. I'm Anthony Stalter. And, well, Jamie, I know you can't see Jamie right now, but we're going to fix his video here when we have an opportunity. Jamie, how is Winterpeg?
It's beautiful here, Anthony. I mean, the sun is shining. People are tanning outside. It's really quite a sight to see.
Oh, good. Nice. You hate it up there, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's gray. It's not that great out. Not a lot of sunshine. And a lot of people around here wearing these awful white jerseys with Jets on them, and they're talking about some kind of whiteout crap. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they probably want to white out the Game 3, Game 4 performance by their own team.
Oh, boy, do they ever.
So let's talk about the morning skate for Game 5. Buchnevich, Thomas, Snuggerud, Neighbors, Shen, Kyrou, Texier, Sunquist, Bolduc, Toropchenko, Foxa, Walker, your defensive pairings at morning skates. And I'm getting this from Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider on Twitter at JP Rutherford. Fowler, Parayko, Broberg, Falk, Suter, and Leddy. And then obviously Binnington is your starter in net. How much do the lineup changes for both the Blues and the Jets change the outlook, Jamie, of maybe not the series, but at least Game 5?
For the Blues, I don't see it being a very big deal because, look, no disrespect to Tyler Tucker. He's playing great hockey, but, it's not like your pivot is some rookie who's barely played in the National Hockey League or a guy that's a bubble player. Your pivot is a guy that's played over 1,500 games in the NHL. That's Ryan Suter. And he's also, I don't know this to be true because I haven't talked to him about it, but I know how I would feel about being scratched. I'd be a little ticked off, and I'd want to show the powers that be or anybody who will watch the game, quite honestly, that you shouldn't have taken me out of the game, and the next time this situation happens, I won't be your first pick. Now, whether any of that's true or not, I don't know, but you want to make sure you prove to people that, hey, I'm a valuable piece of this team, and I want to be in the lineup. So for the Blues, I think it's pretty much zero adjustments. I mean, you got Ryan Suter, who's been in your lineup all season long, so adding him's not much of a difference as far as the chemistry is concerned.
Sure.
Now, on the flip side, the Jets get Gabe Vilardi back into the lineup, and he's their top power play guy. I think he got 12 power play goals for them this season. He was a big part of their success, and so he's coming back. He'll play on the first line with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. And then that will bump everybody down. So Iafallo will bump down and play with the Nemestikov line. And then Niederreiter will bump down and play with Lowry. So it gives them some depth to where they were just kind of front-loaded on the big line up top and nothing else beyond that. It does give the Jets a little bit of depth out there. So that will cause, I don't want to say problems. It'll cause a wrinkle for the Blues when it comes time to match lines or just even strategically. Now, Gabe Vilardi hasn't played in a month. He is coming back off of an injury that's an upper body injury, which means that the Blues are probably going to see how that injury is doing early. They're probably going to get pretty darn physical with this guy. Want to make sure he's feeling 100%. And if not, well, then, so be it. But, those are the lineup changes for tonight. So a little bit of a different look.
When it comes to, and I know I've asked you this before, Jamie, but as we draw closer to game time, we're ways away from game time, but at least we're on game day. Changes that you could see coming for the Jets and the Blues in terms of how they attack things, because you were so spot on with Game 3.
Yeah, so what I noticed over the course of the Games 3 and Game 4 is just the Blues defensemen getting shots through to the net. And I know BK had these stats out, and I double-checked them with him again yesterday while traveling. And Games 1 and 2, the Blues their defensemen only had 25 shot attempts on net. Whereas in Games 3 and 4, they had 50 shot attempts. So they doubled their shot attempts on net. And they were getting those pucks through. And even their coach this morning, Scott O'Neill for the Jets, said, our wingers up high have to do a better job of taking away, those opportunities for the Blues from their defense line. So the big thing is you got to keep doing that. You got to keep getting pucks to the net because that makes it really hard for the defensemen to cover. It leaves pucks, bodies everywhere, and it basically relegates their defensemen to trying to find pucks, bodies, pick up sticks, whatever they have to do defensively, and it takes a lot of energy out of them, and it consumes them. And that's what I think you saw a lot of puck retrieval from the Blues, was because the defensemen were just there, 2 against 3 guys down low, trying to cover as much as they possibly could. So that just tells me that the Jets, as far as the forwards are concerned for the Jets, were not committed to blocking shots or weren't very good at getting into the shot lane to make the Blues pick a different avenue. So for me, that's going to be the biggest thing early in the game is how much have the Jets changed? How much are they willing to block shots now? How much are they willing to try and front those pucks and go back to games 1 and 2 where they shut down the Blues so well?
Jamie Rivers joining us from Winnipeg. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Any other interesting storylines that people aren't discussing? We will get into Connor Hellebuyck coming up here in about 5-10 minutes, but that's the obvious one, right? That's the layup of the storyline. What do you think is going underrated right now, or under the radar, I should say?
I think the Blues' depth overall is being, strong words, but I'll say disrespected. I think that everybody looked at the Winnipeg Jets and they're the big bad wolf. They finished first in the league and they're such a powerhouse. And meanwhile, I don't think people really looked at the depth of scoring that the Blues could have here. They got the top 3 lines that have all participated in the scoring, and the WTF line has been fantastic in their checking role. So I just think that the Blues' depth overall has been overlooked by a lot of people who had picked the Jets to just walk all over the Blues. And now some of those people are going, well, hey, what's going on here? Why is this game, why is this series turning into maybe the Blues' advantage? Like they're trying to put the pieces together. Like, how did we get here? Well, have you not watched the latter part of the season?
Right.
The Blues are one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NHL. And they just sort of got overlooked because everybody was just so enamored with the Winnipeg Jets. So when their coach this morning talks about how getting one guy back helps them match the depth of the Blues, that tells you everything you need to know. But nobody was really talking about that when the series started. Everybody talked about Thomas versus Scheifele, the big line versus big line, and they talked about Binnington versus Hellebuyck. And that's kind of what the narratives were surrounding the series.
Sure.
Well, it's been way more than that, and I know we're going to get into Thomas versus Scheifele later on in the show because the numbers are pretty stifling when you look at some of the things there when it comes to that matchup as well. But, no, I think the Blues' overall depth in the lineup has been overlooked, and I think it's something that people aren't talking enough about.
That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. The Blues will play Game 6 on Friday night. You can join me and the 101 ESPN Street Team this Friday for a Game 6 watch party at Cafe Telegraph. You can head out to Cafe Telegraph, grab some drinks, delicious food, enjoy the Blues game on all of their big screens. Also, you can register to win 101 ESPN giveaways. Again, that's this Friday at Cafe Telegraph, located at 2650 Telegraph Road in South County. You can learn more about the Game 6 Blues watch party with me, Anthony Stalter, at 101ESPN.com. It'll be a fun night, and hopefully we'll be talking about the Blues clinching this first-round series, eliminating the Jets, but in order to do so, they got to win tonight up in Winnipeg. We're going to stay with the Blues and the Jets, talk about perhaps the biggest national storyline, which is Connor Hellebuyck. How long is his runway tonight? Does it matter? Will the Blues or will the Jets just completely stick with Connor Hellebuyck no matter what? Throw a couple different scenarios out to the guys to see if we can see where the runway ends for Connor Hellebuyck. That's next on 101 ESPN. This is Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The big national storyline is, of course, Connor Hellebuyck heading into Game 5. Connor Hellebuyck was pulled the previous 2 games here in St. Louis, and a lot was made of him going back to the locker room. Apparently, he does that every time, I guess, that he gets pulled.
He's been pulled 3 times. Happens a lot, Anthony.
Well, 2 of them were here in St. Louis, so that was good to see. Unless 3 of them were the regular season. Either way, look, this is a national storyline. How long is the runway for Connor Hellebuyck? I think the easy answer would just be, hey, he's going to win another Vezina trophy this year. You just stick with him. But we know that the pressure has been completely, ticked up to about 1,000 degrees for Winnipeg. So if you're the Jets and Hellebuyck puts you maybe in a 2-0 hole, do you still stick with him, knowing what you know for 3 and 4? I mean, Jamie, walk us through what you think the decision could be made for the Jets tonight.
Well, here's what I was talking about with a bunch of the media people last night. We had some dinner and just kind of sitting around doing the old hot stove. And I just said to them, I go, guys, who in Winnipeg tonight is going to have the worst sleep? Out of every person that's in Winnipeg tonight, who's going to have the worst sleep? And everybody had their guesses. And I go, how about Scott O'Neill, head coach of the Winnipeg Jets? Because he's got a Vezina Trophy winning goalie who's probably going to win it again for the 3rd time. Yet he's being questioned on if he should be starting him in Game 5 or start the backup goalie. And then if you're that head coach, is it 1 goal the threshold? Is it 2 that's the threshold? If you let it go 3, is it too late? So I can just imagine that Scott O'Neill probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Now, to your point, Anthony, he's going to win his 3rd Vezina trophy. And if I'm that head coach, I just roll him out there every single game. Call it job security. I don't care. Because how could anybody fault you, the GM, the owner, the fan base?
I think we lost Jamie here.
I mean, how could you fault him, though? That's your go-to guy, right?
I think you would, though. I think the number's 3. 3's the number. You give up the 3-0, and you got to get him out of there because you've already seen what else is going to happen. 3-0, you probably give yourself a chance to get back into the game, especially if it's early. Mm-hmm. Like first period, 3-0. Love you, brother. You had a hell of a regular season. Yeah. You have stunk this playoffs. So I would assume I would say that 2, I think that's not enough. 3-0, first period, going into the second period, beginning of the second period, and they're soft goals, you probably move on and say, all right, we've enough is enough.
What if it's 2 quick ones?
I still don't think 2 is enough.
Okay.
It's
got to be 3.
For me, I think 3 is 3. In the first period or beginning the second period, if you're down 3-0 and you're the Winnipeg Jets, and 2 of those goals were or he has a situation where he's behind the goal and he just says, here you go, sir, you can have my puck.
Like Game 3?
I don't want this that bad. You can have it. I'm not locked. Because to me, that's a player that's probably not locked in. Mm-hmm. And for as great as he is during the regular season, for whatever reason, playoffs, you're supposed to become more laser focused than the regular season. The regular season is a long ass, it's drawn out. You got road trips, you got 82. You're like, oh God. And you're supposed to not be as dialed in. Playoff time, you playing every 3rd night. You get good rest. You get to sleep in your bed every now and then. Like, yeah, you should be good. The hell is wrong with him? I don't know, but keep it up, Connor. The hell if I know what's wrong with him.
Jamie, welcome back.
Don't fix a thing.
I got back just in time for Carey's rant. I love it.
Which was good. I didn't expect him to land the plane like that the way he did, but he did it. Jamie, you were kind of on a roll there, but if you want to finish your thoughts on, again, we're talking about Connor Hellebuyck, Vezina winning trophy, likely to be a 2-time Vezina winning trophy winner, and he's been awful. He wasn't even that great in games 1 and 2. He just wasn't tested at all. So what does it say about your goaltender if you're like, hey, if we just don't test him, if our defensive structure is good in front, not a lot of pucks on net, we're going to be fine? If not, we're going to stick with him because he's our guy, but he could damn near cost us this series.
So a couple things I want to clarify here about the Connor Hellebuyck situation and this series overall. There's been 3 goals of the many that he's let in that I think are bad goals. The Blues have done a hell of a job of shooting the puck very well. They've scored 8 goals high glove on him, 3 high blocker. So 11 of the goals have come up high, which the scouting report certainly backs up when you look at Connor Hellebuyck. The tip-ins and the rebound goals, you have to give the Blues, the players, credit for that. Now, the goals that I think are problematic for me is the giveaway behind the net, obviously. That one there is not pretty at all. The deflection, the Braden Shen goal where Hellebuyck is in his own net and he just pushes the puck back to Braden Shen, who then fires it in the net. Didn't like that one. And then the Robert Thomas goal, if you look at that, like, Hellebuyck barely tries. Mm-hmm. He stays stationary, doesn't move, doesn't follow the pattern of the shooter at all, and then just sticks his leg out, and Robert Thomas goes, okay, thank you, and he tucks it home for a goal. Those are the only 3, though, that I think have been, like, egregious. The rest of them, man, I'm sorry, you have to give the Blues credit, too. It's not like everything they shoot has been going in. This guy sucks. Like, look at the game, too. They only scored 1 goal on him here in Winnipeg. So the Blues changed some things of their own and maximized, their abilities while taking advantage of, certain deficiencies on Connor Hellebuyck. But it hasn't like he's been handing the Blues the series. But because of the past narrative on this guy, everybody feels like, here we go again. Of course. Here we go. This guy stinks. You can't hit him in the playoffs.
Right.
Now, hopefully that does happen here tonight. Boy, it'd be nice if you just decide to fold up shop tonight. One can only hope, Anthony.
Yep.
But no, credit to the Blues for putting pressure on Connor Hellebuyck and forcing him to make saves that he's not making. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. You keep pushing that envelope as far as you can because he has the narrative. And it's funny, we laughed the other day when we played that audio of I study more than anybody in the world.
That's because it was funny and it sounded like he was being insecure and sensitive.
He was overselling his product. Is what he was doing. Yeah. And the people here in Winnipeg, the media especially, thought that was pretty funny too. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Oh, who the hell even says that?" They're like, "How does he know how much people study?" He's like, "I don't see." He's like, "What about every goalie coach that's out there? They're studying more." Mm-hmm. Like,
it's just a dumb comment.
It is. It's been perceived as dumb, insecure, overselling, whatever you want to call it. So the fact that he said that, though, tells me that he's in his own dome at the same time. So never mind that the media, the fans, the Blues fans are in Connor Hellebuyck's kitchen. Connor Hellebuyck is in his own kitchen cooking steak and eggs right now.
He's losing his mind.
Somehow he's got to get out of there.
All the benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie, how much are the Blues in trouble if Connor Hellebuyck does find his game? Do you think he can carry that into a Game 6?
Well, look at Games 1 and 2. Hellebuyck was pretty good here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, and 4 shots.
Well, true enough. That was in the third period, but overall, like, when you're the Blues, you essentially lost both games by 1 goal. Mm-hmm. So I just don't think the Blues are scared of him. Like, there's no like storytelling. There's no like, oh my God, Connor Hellebuyck, he's unbeatable. There's no lore to him. Whereas Jordan Binnington, you see everybody talking here in Winnipeg, and it's amazing what that friggin' Four Nations did. It was a made-up tournament for the best players in the world. And yes, Jordan Binnington, he shined in the final game. But everybody seems to forget that Jordan Binnington carried a team to a Stanley Cup championship. That's like, that's so long ago. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They're all focused on the Four Nations. Mm-hmm. Well, Jordan Binnington, he can raise his game. Look what he did at the Four Nations.
So now you're saying that, Canada.
Oh, God, right, Anthony? The first couple of games, they were ready to get rid of him. Right. Take his jersey away.
Oh, they posted the roster, and they were like, this is terrible. This guy can't get it done.
Well, now they're sitting here praising Jordan Binnington so much so that they've created this, like, those fictional characters that people make up and like, he was 7 feet tall.
Right.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
Like Braveheart, right? Oh, he's 7 feet tall. He's really like 5'8". You're like, okay.
Tusock Williams.
Tusock Williams, yeah. We added more. Schoolboy Rowe, he played with Tusock Williams.
Did he really?
Yeah, played well with him, too.
Were they train car?
Oh, yeah.
Roommates?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. SNL used to do a skit called Bill Brasky. That was kind of like that, where the three guys were just around talking about how legendary Bill Brasky was. So that's what I feel like now. People in Winnipeg are like, Jordan Binnington, 6'6", stops everything. Yeah, he stopped a puck with his bare hand once. One of them deals.
Caught one in his mouth.
Like Ace Ventura caught the bullet.
Yeah.
Hellebuyck's not the only Jets player that has underperformed, too. I mean, Josh Morrissey, their defenseman, he's been on ice for 5 even-strength goals against, tied for most on the team, completely outperformed by Marsh's guy Cam Fowler, as well as Parayko and Falk. He's taken a physical beating, hasn't influenced the series. And it's not just Hellebuyck. Adam Lowry took a costly penalty in Game 4 for them. He's got 14 penalty minutes and only 1 point, which came in an empty netter. Niederreiter, 0 points in the series, despite, kind of some good metrics when it comes to possessing the puck. So if you're the Jets, you're also kind of like, hey, Hellebuyck's taking some of the heat off of us because some of these other players aren't performing either, Jamie.
Yeah, no, they've got a list of guys that haven't performed well, and their head coach was talking about this morning when asked about Morrissey. He says, well, you can tell that the Blues have a target on Morrissey. He said, I think he's been the most hit player on our team throughout this whole series.
Yeah.
And I wanted to chime in at the time. My tongue was bleeding. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to say that's his job. Like, you battle through that crap. I've watched Nick Lidstrom and like Al McInnes and all the best players in the world battle through being targeted. Back when you could take a guy's head off and the ref would look the other way.
Right.
And now you got poor little Josh Morrissey. They're hitting him. Oh, yeah, whatever.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Does the NHL playoffs offer the most parity in sports? Are we seeing that right now? We'll talk about that next on 101 ESPN.
How would you like to have the world's largest sports book right in the palm of your hand where you can look up any league, any sport, any game, any player for that matter, and place a wager? Well, let me help you out. Circus Sports Illinois, the app is that. It is a project of Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Las Vegas, where they do have the largest sports book in Las Vegas. Now it's in the palm of your hand, and it's so awesome. It's super user-friendly, easy to find the app. Check their website out or go to any app store. They've got you covered there. They've got great lines on all their futures bets, tight money line splits. They've got the best odds out of any app as well. Do your research. Check it out. Check any other app. Compare the odds. You'll see that Circus Sports has the best odds, which means they have the bigger payouts. And that's really what you want. They also have high betting limits for those who want to get a little crazy out there, kind of like that. But again, it's super user-friendly, and they've got everything there for you, whether it's games, whether it's player props, parlays. Circus Sports Illinois has you covered, and they love all of the action. So you don't miss the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with Circus Sports Illinois, the app today, and join on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. You just heard it. Blues take on the Jets tonight. Game 5 up in Winnipeg. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 7:30. Puck drop is at 8:30. The Cardinals, they won earlier today in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. The final score in that one, 6-0 over the Cincinnati Reds. Steven Matz will take the mound in Game 2 for the Redbirds. First pitch is at 5:40. If you have missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Brad Thompson, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Speaking of interviews, we'll talk with Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht at 4:30. But coming up next, do the NHL Playoffs offer the most parity in sports? We'll discuss that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, we've got all of the game coverage for you tonight, starting with the pregame at 7:30 on 101 ESPN. And Game 5 will drop the puck about 8:30 or so from Winnipeg. And you can listen to that on the Blues Radio Network with Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, who's in Winnipeg, and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Do you guys think that the NHL playoffs is the most parity right now in sports? I know the Eastern Conference hasn't been ultra competitive, but it's starting to get good with the Toronto-Ottawa series taking a turn. Carolina already closed out New Jersey last night. But the Western Conference has been stacked. I mean, 2-2. There's been some major comebacks. You got the Kings going up 2. Now they're down 1. Blues, obviously, falling behind 2 to Winnipeg. Now they're even heading into Game 5 tonight. You look at the NBA playoff series, and a lot of those series, if they're not over already, they're 3-1. Do you guys think the NHL offers the most parity of the 4 major sports?
Of all the 4 major sports?
Yeah.
Or just the 2 that are going on?
Of all
playoffs?
the 4 major sports.
No, it's football. It's football.
Football offers the most parity?
Yeah, it's football.
Come on.
Yeah.
Even with the Eagles
Carey.
and Chiefs being the top 2 seeds making it to the Super Bowl.
Doesn't matter.
No?
Nope. Did you have them? You didn't even have the Eagles making it out of the first round.
Oh, yes, I did.
No. You said you were the real Italian and Nick Sirianni was the fake Italian.
I said that going into the Super Bowl.
And then you changed your mind. You didn't believe in him.
No, I didn't change my mind. I admitted I was being an idiot.
It's football. I think basketball has been good, too. I mean, you got...
How can it be football?
How can it not be?
It doesn't have to be hockey, trust me, but how is it football?
It's football. There's more parity.
How is there parity? How?
Because you don't know who's going to... Okay, let's go to the... NFC
there's
East.
2 teams in every conference that you know are going to be
East,
there.
2 teams. NFC East has not had a back-to-back champion in that division in 25, 30 years.
And how
Something
competitive have they been?
They just won the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you don't know who's going to win that division. That's parity. The AFC North is a lot of parity. The Bengals were one of the best teams in the league, and they didn't even make the playoffs. They had one of the best offenses. They couldn't stop a nosebleed.
No, they couldn't
Stop me, and I'm 40. I'm a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You scored 5 times against them.
Probably. You know what? I ran the other day. I don't think I'd scored.
Anthony, what did I tell you before the show? I knew when I brought this up that these 2 would go head-to-head against each other.
I just don't see the parity.
You were right.
I just don't see it. The best teams always end up at the top. The best teams, always.
Yeah.
When's the last time an underdog won a Super Bowl? An underdog, like a wild card team barely limping in with a 500, won a Super Bowl.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
The one off the top of my head was...
Well, that's recent.
Well, no, the Packers won as a 6 seed.
The Giants.
In 2010.
How many years
Giants.
ago? Wait,
2010.
Giants won.
Off the top of my head.
Giants won in 2012.
How'd you finish that day? Dead last, eh?
I didn't know.
That was before I started blessing the couch. That's how long ago it was.
Very true.
Whoa, careful, Marcy.
In 11, the Giants.
Was it 12 or 11? 11.
11.
Yeah, they were a 6 seed. It happens.
It has happened before.
I wouldn't call that parity, though.
Well, what would you call it?
I call it every now and then you get a lucky team.
Does an underdog have to win for it to be parity? Because I just think that I do think it's the NHL. By the way, I think the NHL has offered the most parity. I think that when you get a first round matchup like Panthers and Lightning, I would.
You would.
Okay. Panthers and when you get I think so too. I'm feeling that. Panthers and Lightning. Panthers and Lightning. You get a first round matchup like that, and the defending champs aren't even favored in that, and then they're rolling right now. I think it's got to be. I mean, the Western Conference was 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. It's been ultra competitive.
Well, you look at the Western Conference, and 2-2, 2-2 across the board. The Oilers are an underdog too in that series. I know it doesn't always make sense, but they are. But then you go to the East even. Ottawa and Toronto had 2 overtime games that Toronto won. And now they're sitting in a 3-2 series going back to Ottawa. It could be 3-2 Ottawa going back right now to wrap it up.
Yeah.
The only series that was really crap was Carolina and the Devils, and we knew that was going to be crap from the start.
Right. Well, when the Devils they don't even have their top player. I mean,
they're missing the 2 of the Hughes brothers are out, the defenseman and the forward. They didn't have a chance. And so I don't know. Look, I just think that in hockey, and we've said this before, is that because it's 4 out of 7, and I think that's the only difference, Carey, quite honestly, and this is where football, I don't want to say takes a back seat, because it doesn't, because the NFL is the biggest juggernaut in the world, but I'm just saying that the playoffs, a one and done, it's more difficult, I think, to have the underdogs pull one out. I know that sounds crazy, but when you have a 4 out of 7, you get injuries. You get a team that wears down. You get a goalie that gets hot. You have a goalie that gets cold. And all of a sudden, you've got an upset. All of a sudden, you have an 8th seed winning a Stanley Cup, which has happened, fairly recently here in the NHL. I don't know. I think there's an argument to be said on both sides of it here. I just think that the more games in a series lends itself to more parity.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Can I shake things up here?
Sure.
Oh, God.
The 3-1-4
basketball.
No, here comes baseball.
Goodness gracious.
It's going to be baseball.
Anthony might be on to something. From the 3-1-4.
No, let me guess. The World Series thing.
It's baseball, and it's not even close. How many wild card teams go to the World Series all the time?
It ain't baseball. It's basketball. Let me tell you why.
Oh, God.
Miami Heat, 8th seed, a couple years ago, made it to the NBA Finals. You got all the underdogs. Well, not all of them, but you got a lot of underdogs right now. The Warriors leading that series. The Timberwolves leading that series.
Yeah.
They are the lower seed. There's more parity in basketball.
You just mentioned 3 teams, and 2 of them had Jimmy Butler on them.
Hey, he's a damn good player, man. He's a damn good player.
Actually, he did play for the Timberwolves at one point too. So
not this year, though.
No,
he's played for a lot of teams. Let me go back to the baseball comment. When it comes to like wild card teams getting in and things like that, okay. But the problem with the baseball argument is that you completely ignore that 20 teams are almost eliminated on opening day. Like that, and I'm using some hyperbole, but not much. Like basically 20 teams are not World Series contenders on opening day. Now, is there an Arizona Diamondback team that you would also include in that group initially that squeaks in? Yeah, sure. But typically, that at least half the league is not going to be competitive.
I don't think you're wrong.
And you can't say that about other sports. So when you just look at the playoffs, I get it. Baseball fans can kind of say, hey, you did get different World Series teams, and yeah, you get the wild card team. But on opening day, half the teams are already eliminated. You just cross them off.
Can I add something else to this, too?
Sure.
Is you focus on the wild card team. Oh, the wild card team made it here, made it there, to the pennant, all this stuff. That's essentially a second place team.
Right.
Right. When you talk wild card in baseball, it just doesn't carry the same water for me.
Sure.
The NHL, you've got your top 3 teams in every division, then you get a wild card team. So essentially, the wild card team is like 7th and 8th place in their conference, the 2 wild cards. Whereas in baseball, the wild card in the National League West could be, next
a 95 win team. Yeah.
That's what's my point.
Wild card. You're right.
To me, that's where wild card falls short for me, is because you're not really a wild card. You're a second place team in a strong division.
And the Blues are the 5th best team in their own division.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Yep. That's crazy. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How can the Blues duplicate games
Hockey
3?
One, Carey.
Nah, not just Hockey is tougher than football.
Flight just asked from the Snake Pit, Stalter, can you eliminate 15 teams from any league on opening day? Yet again with a terrible take. Flight, no. No, you can't. You definitely can't. You definitely can't do that in the NFL. You can't. You might think you can, but you can't. The NBA, Carey, do you think you can eliminate 15 teams?
No.
Well, that's because all of them make the playoffs.
Jamie.
Or the play-in tournament.
Here we go.
Jamie, can you eliminate 15 teams in hockey?
Not 15. You could find 8 to 10 probably, but not 15.
Yeah. Okay. So baseball, we'll all say aye on 15 teams you can eliminate?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Flight, go fast on yourself. How can the Blues duplicate games 3 and 4? That's next on 101 ESPN.
time for a Blues Playoff Report presented by English Sweep Fireplace and Chimney Restoration. Schedule your chimney inspection at EnglishSweep.com.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. How can the Blues duplicate games 3 and games 4?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
This should be good.
you score more goals than the opposing team,
Allow less.
and you win the game. That's how you duplicate it.
Yeah,
You put the puck. So Anthony, I hate to be the guy that I have to break this down for you.
Please do.
Tape to tape. Shot.
Yeah.
Puck in the back of the net. Several times. More than the other team. Boom. It's repeated. It's duplicated. It's done. There you go. Simple. Jamie, what you say? What say you?
I couldn't say it any better, Carey. Well done.
Real hockey people know this, Anthony. You know?
I'm not a real hockey person.
I'm just saying, real hockey people know this.
I'm trying.
All right.
Carey, I'm trying to get on your level.
This team hasn't seen playoff hockey in quite some time.
Yeah, good call.
I think it's pretty simple.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. All right.
Why don't we go maybe a little bit more, systematically, Jamie?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh.
What?
Yeah,
I
systematically.
like Carey's way. Well, from a system standpoint, if you're the Blues, you don't change a thing. You know, all they're talking about here around Winnipeg is the Blues' heavy forecheck and their physicality and their relentless attack on pucks. So you're already in their kitchen. Keep going. Don't change anything. You know, they're wanting their defensemen to close out plays quicker, move the puck up the ice quicker so they don't get forechecked as much. So from a system standpoint, you don't change a thing. Like, not a dang thing. The only thing that I think that the Blues need to do is play a very disciplined game. And I do mean penalties, because too many penalties here in the last 2-3 games. You're giving the Winnipeg Jets too much of an opportunity to make a difference on the power play. They've got Velarde back now, so they've got all 5 pieces of their power play back intact, and their power play was very good. Number 1 in the NHL for the regular season. So you don't want to tempt fate by taking a dumb penalty, that's for sure. But in the process of doing that, you don't want to give up playing physical either and being aggressive. So honestly, guys, I know the Blues don't change a thing. It's like a boxer. You get to the late rounds, the fighter that keeps changing things or trying to figure out their opponent usually ends up on the canvas, whereas the one who's doing the damage stays the course and ends up winning. And I think that's where we're at right now for the Blues. The Jets have not given them cause in the last 2 games to change anything from a system standpoint.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's going to come tonight, though. I mean, you could. You've got to do. It's one of those things where, and I get it. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but you do have to. You do have to change things.
I never got that, by the way. Who the hell would throw the baby out with the bathwater?
A lot of Romans. No, but, really? That's where it came from. It came from Roman times.
Do tell.
Well, the Romans used to bathe the child, and if
they bathed.
What?
I don't think they took baths.
What? The Romans?
Oh, Carey, they're clean people.
I don't know. Was it the Vikings? Which ones didn't take baths?
I'm sure the Vikings didn't. No.
Okay.
No, the Vikings are animals.
Trust me, I don't know.
You know, Carey, are you talking crap on my Vikings again? What's going on here?
No, not those Vikings.
Oh, different
the real
Vikings.
Vikings.
Oh, the real one.
Yeah.
The actual logo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to start that discussion, guys. I just never got the baby with the bath water. You can clearly see that there's a baby in the bath that you're about to throw out. Why would you throw the baby out? But anyways.
Well, it's just it's a phrase. You know?
It's a dumb one.
Might not be wrong.
Okay, it might not be your favorite, but
it's not. I like babies, Anthony. I don't know about you.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare twist this. Anyways, I realize that you had, if you're the Jets, a game plan that worked in game 1 and 2, and then it didn't in 3 and 4. I imagine Jamie, as a coach and somebody that had to strategize to win series and win games and be a part of coaching staffs that did so too. you make tweaks. You don't make wholesale changes because you do have to fall back on who you are. It's not like you change your roster midstream. So just like the Blues adjusted in 3 and 4, the Jets will come with something. When it comes to having the second line change again, though, does that really work in the Jets' favor like it did with the Blues? I mean, I know there's some benefit to every team that's the home team, but Jets specifically.
To an extent, but if you're the Blues, like out of your 4 lines, you're really not worried. And we talked about matchups this morning with both coaches, and both coaches kind of said the same thing. Like, matchups aren't a huge thing in this series. They're just not. Now, while saying that, their coach here in Winnipeg has definitely put the Scheifele line out against the Thomas line more than any other line in the series. It worked out for games 1 and 2, but then flip it on its head for 3 and 4 because Monty, kind of split the time between the WTF line and the Thomas line against Scheifele, and the Thomas line ran wild on the Scheifele line. So, will their head coach tonight want that same matchup again, or will he try and stay away from it? Who knows? But I don't see either coach really relying heavily upon the matchups as being the tweaks that they're going to make in their game. If I'm the Jets, then I'm definitely trying to stretch out the zones with the Blues. On my transition, I'm stretching the ice because right now the Blues are closing. They're shrinking the ice everywhere they're at, and it's causing a tremendous amount of traffic that's tough to get through. If I'm the Jets, I'm stretching a guy, far blue line, even two guys, far blue line. Like, you've got to open it up, get some speed going through the middle of the ice and see what you can do. But that would be the only thing. But if the Blues are on their game, like, as far as their forecheck is concerned, the F1 and the F2 that are getting after the puck quickly, if they're on their game, it's tough to wait for those guys to stretch. And then, because if you turn the puck over, now those guys are out of position.
Right.
So it's a tough thing to do. But I think they're just going to go back to, hey, it's best on best, man. We were 20 points better than you in the regular season. We don't give a darn about your late season rally to crawl into the playoffs. We're the better team and we're going to beat you. I think that's what their attitude is throughout this. And I think that might be the attitude that ruins them because I don't think they're respecting just how good the Blues are. I think they're looking at it almost as a fluke.
Jamie, you mentioned Robert Thomas and Mark Scheifele earlier. Do you think that one-on-one or, going up against each other, do you think Robert Thomas has had the better series?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. You look at the goals for, the chances for, chances against for those lines, and it's pretty wild. When they're head-to-head, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wish I did, but I was looking at them this morning, and the chances for compared to the chances against for Robert Thomas and that line are far better in the positive than they are the negative, whereas it's the reverse for the Scheifele line. They've given up way more chances against than creating chances for, which would tell me that the Thomas line is winning that battle currently, even though in the first 2 games, Scheifele and Connor and Iafallo had lots of points. The chances overall are the scale is tipped in favor of Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, and in this case, Jimmy Snuggerud.
That's Jamie Rivers. That's Carey Davis, who's got something to say.
Well, I was going to say, I think we found the origin of don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
And what part of the Roman times was it?
Well, I don't know if it was Roman. It was many years ago, where there was one bath, one hot tub of water that everyone bathed in. And it started with, I guess, the oldest or the head of the household to the youngest. And by the time the baby took a bath, the water was so dirty you didn't know if the baby was actually in there. So when they got rid of the water, don't throw the baby out with the bath water.
So
the water was so black from so many different bodies bathing in the same water.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah,
Not only wait. Not only are we throwing the baby out, but we're just letting it bathe in everybody's dirty bath water?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Not enough water to go around, Jamie. You don't waste that water.
This was definitely the Vikings.
Yeah.
Romans wouldn't do that. Yeah. They'd start with the baby. Vikings. The Vikings probably viewed it as some sort of ritual. Toughens the baby up.
They're not wrong.
I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Sometimes I just picture actual teachers and professors that are listening to this crap and they're like, oh my God.
This is so wrong.
This is so wrong.
And they got their kid in the car with them like, Mom, is that true? No!
Carey Davis just said.
Turns the station really quickly.
Little Johnny, why did you throw your baby brother out with the bathwater?
Oh,
Guess they said so on the fast lane.
No. Kids.
Do not
Do not do that. All right, we got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Fresh water. All right, fellas, listen up. Look, getting old can be awful sometimes, and we start to feel differently because our testosterone levels dip. And it doesn't matter how manly you think you are, it just happens. It does. For men over the age of 30 years old, you can see small drops, big drops, and it changes everything about you. You can become irritable. You could be depressed. There's so many things when it comes to your body that I know I don't understand. I know Anthony doesn't understand either, but we did understand enough to go see our friends over at Mentality.
Yeah, Mentality is they're incredible, Jamie. I mean, you and I have experienced complete reversals when it comes to energy. It comes roaring back. We've seen gains in the gym despite being now in our 40s and early 50s. You feel like yourself again. Mentality, they're a local healthcare facility. They specialize in helping guys like Jamie and I and you, if you're listening right now and you're experiencing low energy and motivation, maybe some fatigue, you're tired all the time. They have board-certified physicians. They provide a full physical consultation and blood panel analysis all during your first visit, and they focus on free testosterone levels, which many doctors overlook, ensuring that your treatment is tailored to your body. Jamie's program looks different than mine. Your program will look different than ours. Visit mentalityhealth.com/radio if you want more information. Better yet, just go down and talk to them. Jamie often frequents the one in Chesterfield. I usually go to South County. The same people work at both. They're fantastic. They have great business hours as well to ensure that when you start their program, you can go in each and every week to get your to stay on track with your program. It's Mentality.
always one challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 4:05. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Jeff to the program. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much, man. We appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing today. You have the full slate open to you. You've got Jamie, Marsh, Carey, or me. Who would you like to go to?
Well, I was a Gauntlet participant back in the day, and CD and I had a thrilling 1-1 overtime loss. So I gotta get that rematch.
Got to get that revenge. Okay.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Carey Davis.
Hey, Carey, go Ravens.
Oh, wow. I take it back. Take it back. Good luck.
Wow, that's Carey's favorite team.
Jamie.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
By the way, this is Carey's 5th time in a row doing the Gauntlet.
I was about to say, he's been on a roll here. Hey, yeah, right. All right, Carey's heading to the Conus Islands. Jeff, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, Jeff, what are we hoping for, kid?
Oh, I don't know, baseball.
Oh, I don't know. I got somebody on the other line. Got some white walls. Can I call you back? Did you actually want baseball?
No, not really.
Anthony, we've had a few listeners over the last few days asking for random. Today, Jeff did not ask for random. It is random.
How do you feel about random, Jeff?
I feel very random about it.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Well, you're going to get 4 random questions. Each one worth 2 points. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Jeff, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. All right. In 2014, who became the last known recipient of the Rolaids Relief Man Award? This player was gifted a gold-plated fireman's helmet in Cleveland.
I will need the options for that one.
All right. John Smoltz, John Axford, or Bob Wickman?
So John Smoltz.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
All right, go ahead, Marshy. I don't have the picture yet.
All right, I sent it to you, Jamie, so you should have it here in the next few seconds. So question number 2, which of the NBA's Eastern Conference playoff markets is known by the nickname Cream City?
Let's go Philly.
Final answer.
Final answer.
I see what you did there, Jeff.
Yeah. All right, question 3. A Minecraft movie has already become the second highest grossing film based on a video game. But can you tell us the motion picture that checks in at number 1?
Can you read that again?
Yeah, I sure can. The Minecraft movie has already become the second highest grossing film based on a video game. But can you tell us the motion picture that checks in at number 1? So which is the highest grossing video game movie?
Oh, the highest grossing video game movie. I was going to say the Infinity War, but I don't think that's based on a video game. So let's go. I don't know if the Batman movies would be based off a video game. Let me get the options.
All right. Is it the Lego movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Super Mario Bros. Final answer.
All right, Jeff, final question. Whose debut jersey just sold for $7 million in an auction, making it the 4th most expensive game-worn sports uniform of all time?
One more time.
Sure. Whose debut jersey just sold for $7 million in an auction, making it the 4th most expensive game-worn sports uniform of all time?
Let me get the options again.
Your options: Kobe Bryant, Alex Ovechkin, or Jackie Robinson.
Go Jackie Robinson. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey Davis from the Cone of Silence. Jeff, how you feeling?
Not good.
These were interesting. All right, Carey's back from the Cone of Silence right now. He's putting his headbuds back in.
How goes it?
How's the Cone of Silence?
It wasn't silent at all. I mean, it was a full house. It was a lot of folks in there.
Oh, man.
T-Bone, Ryder, Tommy. Man,
Talking
nice.
shop.
Yes, hanging out, man.
Okay.
Living the good life.
All right. Carey, you got random.
Okay. Who doesn't like random, huh?
I don't.
Huh, Anthony?
I hate it.
Nah. It's all in your mind. I think.
It's all in my mind that I hate it.
Okay.
All right. Question 1, CD. By the way, pack a lunch.
Oh,
in 2014, who became the last known recipient of the Rolaids Relief Man Award? This player was gifted a gold-plated fireman's helmet in Cleveland.
I didn't say he played for Cleveland. When did Trevor Hoffman? Options.
John Smoltz, John Axford, or Bob Wickman?
Ooh. I don't think it was John Smoltz. I don't think it was John Smoltz. John Axford, or John Wickman. Who? Is that what you said?
John Smoltz, John Axford, or Bob Wickman?
Bob Wickman. Okay. All right, let's go with Bob Wickman. Final answer.
Question number 2. Which of the NBA's Eastern Conference playoff markets is known by the nickname Cream City?
Oh, man. Oh, what am I doing? Cream City. I do know that. I don't know why I'm dropping it right now. Eastern Conference. All right, Brooklyn. No. Oh, I don't want to go through all the teams. Magic, no. Cleveland? Cleveland. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I feel like I'll know it if I get the options.
Options are Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or Indiana.
Oh, wow. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or Indiana? Cream City? I definitely don't know that then. Cream cheese? Milwaukee. Let's go with, it's either Milwaukee or Indiana. Indiana, final answer.
All right, Carey. Next question. A Minecraft movie has already become the second highest grossing film based on a video game. But can you tell us the motion picture that checks in at number 1?
Hell should I know that?
Got kids, Carey. I mean, I don't know.
Options.
All right. Is it the Lego Movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Lego, Sonic, or Mario. Let's go Mario Brothers. Final answer.
Final question. Whose debut jersey just sold for $7 million in an auction, making it the 4th most expensive game-worn sports uniform of all time?
Can you read that one more time, please?
Of course. Jeff asked me the same thing. Whose debut jersey just sold for $7 million in an auction, making it the 4th most expensive game-worn sports uniform of all time?
Just sold, debut. Feels like a Paul Skeens answer, but I feel like I should take the options again on this one. I hate it. Options, please.
Kobe Bryant, Alex Ovechkin, Jackie Robinson.
Oh, well, glad I did. Debut jersey, $7 million. Okay. Who buys jerseys? Baseball fanatics.
For the low price of $7 million.
Sure, could be. It's available if you want it. Trust me. Oh, that's a good question, Anthony.
Thank you. Although I did not write it.
Damn it. This is just a total shot in the dark. Let's go Jackie Robinson. Final answer.
All right. Well, let's go over these. Jeff versus CD in random. Why don't we start off with the question I've read more than any other question in the Gauntlet in history. Whose debut jersey just sold for $7 million in an auction, making it the fourth most expensive game-worn sports uniform of all time? With the options, we just heard Carey say Jackie Robinson. With the options, Jeff also went Jackie Robinson. Jamie, correct answer is
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant is what we were looking for, so we get a 0-0 tie. A Minecraft movie has already become the second highest grossing film based on a video game. But can you tell us the motion picture that checks in at number 1? Carey, you said with the options, the Super Mario Brothers movie. Jeff, well, you said the same thing. Correct answer is
It's a Super Mario movie.
Nice job, guys, and nice job to that voice. 1-1 tie, because you both needed the options.
All right.
1-1 tie. Which of the NBA's Eastern Conference playoff markets is known by the nickname Cream City? With the options, Carey went with Indiana. Without the options, Jeff went with Philadelphia. And I said, I see what you did there with the whole cream cheese. Then Carey said it. Jamie, correct answer is
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee is the correct answer.
I think I've seen them wear. I don't know.
Does anybody know why they call it the Cream City? Can we
cream soda
Can we get a
was
little
invented
background?
there.
Really?
Yes, sir. All right, in 2014, comes down to this, guys.
I feel like it too.
I feel like you totally just lied to me.
That was a really good Stalter, though. That was one of the better ones.
Thank you,
Because you
Carey.
just went on. You just kept going. Yep, kept the feet
Thanks,
moving.
Bull. I'm calling Bull right now.
Hey, we got a 1-1 tie. It comes down to this. In 2014, who became the last known recipient of the Rolaids Relief Man Award? This player was gifted a gold-plated fireman's helmet in Cleveland. You have different answers here. You both took the options. Jeff, you went with John Smoltz. Carey, you went with Bob Wickman. If it's Bob Wickman, Carey wins. If it's John Smoltz, Jeff wins. Jeff.
Walk it off.
Well, we got to walk off because it was John Axford.
Former Cardinal.
Jeff, did you say you and Carey had a 1-1 tie before, too?
Yeah, it was just as exciting as this.
All right. Well, you know how this works, but we'll explain it to the listeners. Carey is going to write down the answer to our closest to the pin tiebreaker while Jeff waits. Once Carey's done writing down his answer and showing us, we'll get Jeff's answer, and again, the closest to the pin will win. Here we go. Here's your question. Again, Jeff, hold off. Carey, you got pen and paper?
Yep.
On average, how many times does the heart beat per day? On average.
Oh, my God.
How many times does the heart beat per day?
Oh, my God. Really? Oh, man. Come on, man.
Come on, dog.
This is a complete guess.
All right, Carey wrote down his. So, Jeff, what's your answer?
That's awful.
Trying to do some math in my head.
I was trying to as well. My math is all the
But
way up.
it's the numbers get too high and my brain stops working.
Welcome to the
So
club.
we'll just go with 40,000.
All right, we just heard Jeff say 40,000. Carey, you wrote down
12,000.
12,000. No math required on this one. Jeff.
You have chosen wisely.
On average, how many times does the heart beat per day? Correct answer is
100,000.
100,000 times.
Wow.
100,000 times.
Zero there, did you, huh?
That would be 1,200,000. No.
If Carey's only beat it that much, he'd be dead.
Oh man, I keep my heart rate low. I'm cool and calm,
totally.
collected.
Yeah, you're
barely alive.
Yeah, right. Jeff, congratulations. You win. You'll be back tomorrow.
Thanks. I'm glad that I got to tell Carey, go Ravens.
Oh,
vengeance is yours, man. Revenge is yours.
Sweet revengeance.
Yep. All right, Jeff, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, Carey, unfortunately, we have to send you to the penalty box.
I blame you.
I see yours a 1-1 tie. And then you came up a few thousand short on the tiebreaker, so I would blame yourself.
You should. Actually, I should.
What's trending is next on 101 ESPN.
topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis, who is in the penalty box right now after losing the Gauntlet. I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for What's Trending. Anthony, you have something to share with the class.
Yeah, what's trending? Thank you, Brandon, from the Snake Pit, who pointed out that John Axford won the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year in 2011. He was 2012. Craig Kimbrell was the last one to win the award. Not 2014. The award wasn't around in 2014. So
controversy.
Yeah, controversy.
Justice, because I'd have definitely picked Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, we're going to let Jeff still win. So.
And Carey remains over there.
And Carey remains over there.
Oh, that's terrible.
Now, what else is trending?
What else?
Sir Andrew Marsh?
John Gruden, who has made it known that he is now a St. Louis Blues fan, has put out another video ahead of Game 5, and we are going to take a listen to it because if this doesn't get you fired up, Anthony,
nothing will.
Nothing will.
All right. Game time. St. Louis Blues tonight in Winnipeg. I got my gloves on. I got my helmet on. I'm ready to go. I got Bennington. I got the sponsorship I need. I got Shin. Captain Shin. Buchnevich. Get another hat trick. Shut him out, Jordan. Shut him out. I got a can of whoop ass. And we're going to use it tonight. And I'll see you guys Friday night in St. Louis. I can't wait. I haven't slept in 2 days. Wait till you see Friday night. Whoa! Let's get this one. Let's keep this thing going. Let's go. Let's go. I got to figure out this strap. I got the helmet on, but I got to fix the strap. Put the strap on tonight, baby. Let's go, Blues.
Now, he's probably not lying when he says he hadn't slept in 2 days.
No.
I've been in meetings. I played for the Buccaneers when he was the head coach. There was definitely some mornings where I don't think he slept at all. And that was in the preseason, Anthony. It wasn't even regular season. I mean, he was up there blinking his eyes like, I've been watching film. I'm like, we can tell. Yeah, you've been up. You clearly haven't slept.
Isn't he an insomniac?
I don't know.
A legit insomniac?
Well, it's because like that staff, that staff would. Again, it's the off season. Monty Kiffin, God bless the rest of his soul, he would sleep. He was sleeping in the players' lounge. Like he spent the night at the facility.
Yeah,
it's the preseason. It's the off season. It's not even the preseason.
Right.
It's like April.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you here?
Talking about practice.
Why are you here?
Right.
I walked into the players' lounge. He was sleep on the couch.
Dedicated, man.
Wow.
All right.
These guys work hard.
We have to, Carey, you're going to get out of the penalty box pretty quickly here. That's because we're going to get to Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht, who will join us next in the Fast Lane.
Elevate your performance with my friends over at Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modification. We know that your car is a huge investment, usually second to only the home that you purchase. So you have to make sure that when you hand off your vehicle to somebody, you know you can trust them. And my friends over at Pure Performance, they're the best in the business. They've been in business for over 45 years, and they do amazing work. Whether it's a Jeep, a Bronco, SUV, pickup truck, any vehicle, they have accessories for you. And talking about accessories, head over to their storefront. It's a 25,000 square foot facility located in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70, Cave Springs Boulevard exit. You walk in there, you see all the toys, everything that you want for your vehicle. But when you get there, please ask for Shelby or Paul. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They're going to take unbelievable care of you. And anything you need while you're there for your vehicle, they've got a full-service garage as well. So you can, brakes, tune-ups, oil change, you name it, they've got you covered. And they have tires for every vehicle made, including now they've got tires for ATVs, UTVs, and golf carts. So please stop by, check out everything, but if not, get there online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Battlehawks get back in the win column this past week with an exciting 32-27 victory over the Michigan Panthers. And no better person to talk about that win than Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht. He will join us next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Battlehawks with the head coach. It's time for Anthony Becht's Call-In.
Presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home of the Battlehawks box.
With Jamie Rivers and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. As Marsh just told you in the Sports Center update, let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by our guy Anthony Becht, head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, who got a big win over the Michigan Panthers, 32-27 last week at the Battle Dome. And Coach, congratulations on the victory. Always love chatting with you in general, but we love chatting with you following a win.
No doubt, guys. Appreciate you guys bringing me on. And yeah, it was good to get back on track. 2 losses, just not the brand of ball that we're used to playing. And, played a very good, tough Michigan team at home. And the crowd was juiced up, and our players are ready to go, and we're able to pull out an exciting win.
Anthony, you all are 3-0 when you win the turnover battle. Don't have any turnovers in those games. And 0-2 when you do turn the ball over. Is it as simple as just taking care of the football and creating turnovers on defense to win games?
Yeah, Carey, we sell that every single week. The proof's in the pudding there, right? It's pretty easy for us and on what we need to do. We just feel like we got, really good team on all three phases with defense, offense, and special teams. And for us, it's taking care of the football is the main deal, but, getting some of these guys, Max, obviously getting a full week of practice last week, that showed he was a much better player. Getting Hakeem back was exciting. He was obviously a guy that, couldn't be stopped on the field. So I just think, getting healthy, we do have some players that obviously won't be able to play this week, but we also are excited about some of the players that, haven't been able to get on the field yet because we do believe in our depth. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, anytime we protect the football, it's pretty universal across the game of football. You're going to win a lot of football games, and we just got to continue to do that.
Coach, I do want to ask you about your quarterback, Max Duggan, but you brought up Hakeem. Returned from injury, 2 touchdown receptions, caught a 67-yard touchdown pass, his first reception of the season, added a 57-yard touchdown reverse pass from Blake Jackson later on in the game. Did you feel the buzz from your team knowing that Hakeem was coming back? We don't have a chance to see practice. What was it like in practice leading up to the game?
It's great. I think anytime you got a guy that's 6'6" and, has speed and great range on the outside, teams that want to, kind of try to take away our run game, bring the extra safety in the box, they'll have to think, twice about that. And that'll open up a lot of things, not just for our running game, but also from the receivers and tight ends that are running routes as well. So, he occupies a lot of space. He's able to, make contested catches. And you're right. During the week of practices, it's great. It's good energy. Guys, know that, there's a sense of like, okay, our guy is back. Our coaching staff feels that way for sure. So, again, we just got to continue to build on it, continue to get better. I think, again, I've been saying this before, we're going to have to do it differently this year, but we still have to stack wins. We have to, good teams win 2, 3, 4 games in a row. And we, if we want to be really good, we got to start distancing ourselves from our divisional opponents. And this is one here. It's a rubber match against Arlington. It's a huge matchup for us. And we need a little get back from what we did to us 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Coach, you talk about things being different and looking different for this season for you guys. How many things did you have to do differently when you rolled up, or did you just not change anything at all?
Well, I think when Max comes in, obviously, your offense, your core offense is the same, but there are strengths, right? I mean, obviously, Max is a very strong runner. He's a guy that can really, get up the field. He runs hard, aggressive, and again, he doesn't, he puts a lot of strain on the edge of the defense. And on the passing game, it's just a continued growth week in and week out. The more he sees, the more concepts he can see. Versus live play defenses and the snaps, he's only going to get better. So, we feel like we have a really good plan, and it's really up to all of us. All the players have to execute better. It's not just the quarterback. It's, you got to rally around your quarterback when you have, especially a new one in the lineup. So I'm excited to see the continued growth. I think, again, this is an exciting team, and, I'll stand by what I say. This is a better team than we've had in the past, and we got to continue to play like that and earn our victories week in and week out.
Anthony, down 27-26, and so I got to know how this works, the process of this. You all call the trick play. You call the reverse pass to Hakeem Butler for the go-ahead touchdown. Is that a concept? Is that brought to you from the OC, or is that you saying, hey, we need to run this now? And when you do hear it, if the OC is the one that tells you, are you saying, what's your process of working through that in that time frame?
Well, everybody thinks like, oh, the coach can just like wave the play off. I mean, I think, listen, if a play's in for the week and it's been practiced and, we like what we're doing, and that play was practiced over multiple weeks, then, that's in the game plan. And when the time comes, it's really up to the coordinator, find the right moment to put it out there. And I think, when anytime you call those kind of plays, there is a heightened awareness of, okay, it's either going to be really good or it could be really bad. I mean, I remember the playoff game. We had 2 plays where, we had a kind of a reverse pitch and then flea flicker back to the quarterback, and it worked great in practice and it looked good and we got the right coverage. But we had a linebacker that just kind of blitzed and came right through. We couldn't protect it, and we got sacked, fumbled, and we had a wide open receiver. But it's bad, right? But like, why are we doing that? Why did it work? So. You're right. It's always strategic, but it really is up to the coordinator. He has to have a feel. And in that moment, he just kind of went with it. And, it worked out in our favor. So, we don't work on a bunch, but when we do, we try to wait to those perfect times. And I'm just glad, I just felt like it was a really fun play. And anytime you're throwing to a 6'6" guy, you have more chances to maybe convert those kind of things when you got a guy that big out there.
So, Anthony, I'm sure you know this, but as being a head coach, there's a lot of scrutiny that goes on. We get a lot of listeners that don't think coaches have much to do or they don't do enough in terms of their job. But what you're saying is you all practiced that play time and time again, and it worked well in practice. And had it not gone well, it's not because you didn't work on it, correct? Just making sure that our listeners understand the process of coaching.
You like a jog through it looks like crap, and then you do it against air a couple times, and then you finally try it once in live, and it's like, okay, maybe the throw wasn't complete, but it was there. Then you do it one more time, when you finalize things, and it's like, okay, it comes together. So, and sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 weeks, for some of these plays, but. Like I said, we just got a really dynamic team with a lot of guys with a lot of good skill set, and yeah, you're right. I look like a genius, or you look like a fool. It just depends on how, honestly, it's executed, and it was executed perfectly in that moment.
Coach Anthony Becht joins us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. A couple more things for Coach. Yeah, you get that. I mean, if the play worked, you're a genius. If the play doesn't, then why did you even have that in the playbook? But Coach, I want to ask you about your defense. Carey asked you about the turnovers. But it just seems like you guys create havoc. I mean, Lucas Dennis had a 7-yard sack, his second of the season. Cameron Kelly had the 37-yard interception return. Is that something you see in practice as well? The defense just constantly creating havoc, or is it a situation where you're repping that? You're repping going after the ball, and you want your defense to be aggressive at all times.
Well, Donnie does a great job of, just being an attacking style defense. And we do trust our guys. And, I believe just our secondary in general, especially our safeties and linebackers, Willie and Mike Rose and these guys, Cam Kelly, these guys have a knack for just getting to the football. Cam's done a fantastic job this year. They play a little bit of that cut safety where you're allowed to kind of roam, watch, travel, see eyes, and attack the football. And he's made some big plays for us. And of course, getting after the quarterback. I mean, obviously, anytime you have that dual threat quarterback like Perkins last week, it's always tough because you want to pass rush. You got guys that you just want to unleash. But you have to be strategic and smart because, they can break free and extend plays. So, Luis Perez is not a guy that's going to be able to do those kind of things. So, again, he's very smart, talented, and, he gets the ball out. He understands where his weaknesses are and his strengths and all those kind of things. So, listen, we took one to the house against them 2 weeks ago. It was huge because we needed it. It almost, it didn't tie the game up, but if we got the point after, it would have. And, it's been very opportunistic, and we need it. Like, that's part of the reason why our team is good is because of the energy and excitement and the big playability of our defense. Now, we got to get a little better in some areas. We had some critical mental errors where guys ran free and open where we should have had that shut down, and that happened against D.C. and a little bit against Michigan, too. So, again, guys, if we just align right and just the starting point and understand what we're being asked, it's very difficult to do things against our defense, but that's up to the players ultimately to go out there and execute and be prepared and trust in what we're asking them to do.
Last thing for me, Anthony, I see that the Battlehawks and you all sent Coach Gruden, our former coach, some gear. He's been on social media talking about the St. Louis Blues, hyping them up. We just had a video where he's talking about he hadn't slept in a couple of days. You've been in those meetings with him, and I can attest to it. It looked like he hadn't slept in days in the preseason, in the offseason. What was it like playing for Gruden and the type of coach that he was and the energy that he brought all the time?
Well, first of all, I'm wondering what the hell he's going to a Blues game and not a Battlehawks game.
True.
Guy,
He'd go
right?
to both.
I totally get it. I mean, listen, I'm excited for the Blues. I mean, it's always tough when you're going against, a home game and you got the playoffs, you got the Cardinals, but we got such a great fan base. I mean, it just seems like there's fans for everybody in every sport. But, yeah, Gruden was great. I tell everybody all the time, I was never more prepared as a player than playing under Coach Gruden because I had all the answers to the test. Everything was thorough. The plan was ideal for what we're doing week to week. There's kind of no gray area with Coach Gruden. You either really love him or guys just don't like him. That's kind of out there, right? I mean, it is what it is. But he has a high demand for accountability and execution. I think, especially, Carey, like from the quarterback position, there's a lot on your plate to get it right because there's all kinds of checks and menus of things to prevent, the disasters that defenses try to bring. So, again, sent him that box several weeks ago. got on that early because I just felt like, man, it's great for us, great for the league, but it also meshed up with the Blues. And, I heard he's going to be in town. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's going to be, maybe the Blues take care of business in the first period and a half, and he can come down to the Dome and check out the back end of our game.
There you go. Well said, Coach. Love having you on the show. We'll check back with you again next week. Best of luck. Go get the Renegades.
Always a pleasure, guys. Go Battlehawks.
Thanks, Coach. That's Coach Anthony Becht here in the Fast Line on 101 at ESPN. I love the way you put that with Coach Gruden. And
he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of preparation that you had, it's always funny to me when people say, oh, football players are dumb. Okay. I will give you this playbook and give you a month. I give you 2 months, and you tell me if you can decipher what the hell is going on and figure these things out. You would get 2, 3, 4 plays at a time in the huddle in one play. And you have to know the check, depending on what we're going, opposite, whatever it is, all of those things, you had to know. Can't. I'm having post-traumatic, I'm flashbacks. You have to know what's going on, or you're not going to play. Mm-hmm. And so, it was very demanding. It was really demanding on the quarterbacks because they're the ones that have to spit out all of that verbiage and try to remember exactly. It was so many shifts and so many motions. You would have a shift before the play started and a motion inside of the play, and then have 3 plays attached to that after that shift and after that motion. It was ridiculous.
What is a spider Y2 banana?
So it's like power. So it looks like power, offensive power, like running power play. So guard pulls, fullback kicks out the end man, tailback hits it up inside the B gap. The spider Y2 is the exact same play except for it's a pass. So you're faking the handoff to the tailback. Fullback slips into the flat. He's the first read. Ben Roethlisberger and I had a conversation about this. Throw me the damn ball. First read in the flat. Corner by the tight end. That's the Y banana. Y is the tight end. So he's got a corner, so it goes low to high. Read the fullback to the corner. Usually a touchdown.
Post corner almost kind of looks like a banana.
Yeah. It's a good play, man. That was my favorite play.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that in hockey, right, Jamie?
No.
Forecheck.
Back check.
Paycheck.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Jamie, we got him for one more segment, so time for Jamie's keys to the game, and we'll play the Light the Lamp game next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, back with you here, and I want to talk about my good buddy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. If you're in the market to purchase a home right now, and the market's going to get saturated with homes, you're going to have a strong offer. And in that strong offer comes a really good pre-approval letter from your lender and great guidance from your lender, and Stewie is that guy. He's going to make sure that you don't lose out your bid because you have a bad lender or that your letter's not strong enough. Whatever the case is, he's going to make sure you find the home of your dreams, and then he's going to guide you through the process from there. And Anthony, it's not just buying homes. Stewie does much more.
Yeah, debt consolidation. So don't be somebody that is constantly riddled with, anxiety because you don't know how you're going to consolidate that debt or get that debt paid off. Let Stewie take care of that for you. He's got great programs like the Bagel Loan. If you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you qualify for the Bagel Loan, and that means no closing costs and no lender fees. He can help you with refi, whether or not now's a good time to refi. Once you become a client of his, he'll actually call you and say, hey, remember when we talked 3 months ago or 6 months ago and I said it wasn't a great time to refi? Now is the time. Stewie takes care of all that for you. So give him a call on his personal cell phone number, which is 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. Call him day, night, doesn't matter. It's his personal number. Leave him a message or text him. And if you can't remember that number, you're driving around maybe, Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
wrong earbuds in, and then you get caught on YouTube looking, and these aren't the right side. Hey, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Speaking of Jamie, he's got some keys to victory tonight as the Blues.
100,000.
100,000 keys.
Many times as the heart beats.
That's right.
In a day.
I'm thinking maybe 12,000.
On average.
12,000 sounds about right.
Maybe 4 or 5 is just fine tonight.
100,000 too many?
Yeah, if you need that many, you're in a lot of trouble.
Excited. Jamie, keys to victory.
Yeah. So for me, it's strike early and strike often, and that's all aspects of the game. Get your hits in early, get your pucks on net early, and hopefully score some goals early. Let's quiet down, the whiteout cloud here in Winnipeg. Let's put some doubt in everybody's minds about their goaltender and about their team. So strike early and often for me is the biggest key right off the bat. Stay disciplined. Don't take penalties. They've got their full power play unit back. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't want to know. I'd rather not have to kill off a bunch of penalties and give them any kind of an advantage at all. Key number 3, keep your defense active. Keep them going. Get them up in the play. It seems to be problematic for the Winnipeg Jets right now. Tracking them in the neutral zone and the offensive zone is tough. And then the defenseman getting pucks through to the net has caused quite a ruckus in the defensive zone for the Jets, in particular in front of the net, which leads me to my next key is keep winning the net front battles. You did so in 3 and 4, and look at the outcome of those games. And the last one I've got is stick to your roots, man. Play physical. Don't stop at all. Make sure you get as many hits as you can on good old Gabe Vilardi, who's coming back with an upper body injury that I think, let's test it out. Let's test out his stamina, the injury. Let's test out everything on him. Those are my keys to the game.
Jamie, I got a question for you. Obviously, we're biased here in St. Louis. How would you compare the Blues home crowd to the Winnipeg Jets home crowd? Because all I keep hearing about is this whiteout, and I get it. It's been a tradition for them, but I got to say, I think the Blues fans really held their own in these past 2 games.
Yeah, so look, first of all, tons of respect for both fan bases. I mean, they both bring it so friggin' loud. It's awesome. I will say this, and I said this the other day, is, I take my headset off when they get out on the ice to just kind of get a gauge on, how loud it is in the building. And it was really loud here in Winnipeg in games 1 and 2. I have never heard a louder building in my life than Enterprise Center for Game 4. When I took off my headset right before the national anthem and things like that, it was piercingly loud, or my brain felt like it was rattling around inside my head. And, their head coach today was asked about the crowd in St. Louis and whether or not that got to his team and whatnot. And he said flat out, of course he complimented their fans here, which he should. Winnipeg Jets have great fans here. But he did go on to say that it was one of the loudest buildings he's ever heard. So Blues fans brought it, man, and you're being recognized here in Winnipeg as well. And that's why I think tonight's going to be crazy. And then Game 6 Friday is going to be off the charts because it feels like these 2 fan bases are just trying to outkick each other every single game.
It's awesome. And we're trying to outkick Carey because he's winning right now in Light the Lamp.
And a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shooter!
I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
Carey, what I said made no sense. All right, Carey.
Yeah, I thought it made perfect sense.
Carey has 28 points. He picked up a point thanks to Jordan Kyrou scoring in Game 3. I picked up 3 points. Cam Fowler got on the board. Jamie's still ahead of you. Anthony has 17 points. I have 21, by the way. Anthony, you're at 15.
No.
Ooh, this is difficult. This is kind of feeling a little bit of pressure.
You're difficult.
Yeah.
I need a Bennington goal bad.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Colton Parayko. Is he a 3-pointer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with somebody on the 4th line. Give me Radek Faksa out front, maybe off a shin pad. Who knows? Radek Faksa is going to score a goal tonight.
Foxy, baby. Oh, it's me, right, Anthony?
Yes, Jamie, it's you.
Because you're in last, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. I just checking. I didn't know the rules.
You know how it works.
I'm going to go with Teach Me How to Snuggie. Jimmy Snuggerud.
Teach me how to snuggie. Teach me how to snuggie. Give me Jake Neighbors. Give me Jake the Snake Neighbors.
Solid choice.
See a 3-year?
2.
2.
Okay. Yeah. We'll tie things up with Jamie tonight and look for the dub or the pass on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jamie. We will see you tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, you will.
Go get it done or don't come back home.
I'll do my part, buddy. That's all I can guarantee you.
Okay. We believe in you, and we believe in our Blues. But seriously, don't come back home if you don't get a win. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Okay.
All right. That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. The lineup is out for Game 2 of the Cardinals and Reds doubleheader. So let's play the lineup game next on 101 ESPN.
If you are currently thinking about selling your home, I don't blame you, because now is the time to do it. List that thing, get it sold, but it's not always easy. It's not always easy. Most of the time there's questions, and you're trying to figure out the price range, and if there's certain upgrades to help sell your home faster, take all the pressure off of your plate and call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Look, Gloria Lou has been in the business for well over 20 years, and she understands the St. Louis market. She understands the trends of the market in St. Louis, and she also understands what the price is for your home. And that's important, because you want to price your home at the right price so that you make the most money, but you sell it quickly. If you don't do it the right way, you could sit on the market for a long time, or you could leave money on the table that should have been in your pocket. Gloria Lou knows exactly how to do that for you. She also has a database with thousands of buyers that are ready to purchase your home. That drives more traffic to your listing and hopefully multiple offers. Again, making you more money. So please call Gloria Lou. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that number is 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the fast lane. And that sounder means it's time to play a lineup game, boys. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Game 3 of the series at the Great American Small Park. Cardinals won today 6-0 earlier in Game 1 to even up the series. So the rubber match will be at 5:40 local time. Steven Matz versus Chase Petty, who is a right-hander. He is a right-hander, Carey.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay.
You got this.
Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui Newt Bar.
International superstar.
Watch out, don't run into any walls or anything.
Good start, Carey.
Good start.
All right, go ahead.
You think they run it back with old Mason Wynn here?
After the 2 bombs today, I do.
All right, show us Mason Wynn.
Second. Bring me that arm.
All right. Donovan?
Sure.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
All right. This has been, you know it's been. Show us Nolan Arenado.
No.
Damn it, man.
All right, so who are our candidates?
Wilson Gorman.
Contreras. Burleson?
I don't think it's Burley.
I say Gorman or Contreras, and I'm leaning Contreras.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm okay with that.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
You don't know how to play first base.
Good job.
It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
All right. Is this
Gorman?
Burley? Because who's playing? Because Gorman's probably playing third base if Arenado is out.
Right.
And then DH could be
Burleson.
Contreras or Burley.
Right. All right.
Burley?
Burley? Yeah. Yes.
Show us Alec Burleson.
You're
Sure,
already
Carey.
acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
All right, so
Gorman
here a second.
Fingers. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Show us Nolan Gorman.
Swing Serenade is brought to you by Gorman.
Dingers! Hang me a curve and I will hit. Dingers!
This is probably Jordan Walker.
Yeah, because you need some outfielders.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Show us Jordan Walker.
Die for every ball. It's boring otherwise. Plus, it looks harder.
It's too long. Too long.
Too long.
Shame.
Now, Poso was in the lineup earlier today, so this has got to be Pete Pages.
Sure.
All right, show us Pedro Pages.
Smithies, throw this at him.
Yes.
You're out!
Maybe.
Would you like,
Nah,
go ahead.
show us Victor Scott II.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Okay. Run it, Marsh. Not too bad.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Not a perfect lineup, but nonetheless, pretty good.
All right, leading off the DH, Lars Newt. Batting
DH.
second, the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting third, second baseman, Brendan Donovan. Your cleanup hitter, first baseman, Wilson. No, that doesn't.
No.
Wilson Contreras.
I like the effort, though, Marsh.
Yeah, batting fifth in left field, Alec Burleson. Batting sixth, your third baseman, Nolan Gorman. Batting seventh in right field, Jordan Walker. Batting eighth, catching, Pedro Pages. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott the second.
Back. They fair! Go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
Marsh, why don't you go ahead and give us those standings after I had Lars Taylor Tatsui Newt Bar today?
Does that count?
Nope.
Didn't think so.
Nah.
All right.
Still 3-2, 1-1.
Marshy with 3. Who's got the 2?
That would be Jamie Rivers.
Carey Davis.
Me and Carey, 1-1. Okay. Marshy.
Give me Mason Wynn.
3 on the day, huh?
What are we doing? Home run?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's correct.
That's not great. Who is it on? It's on Jamie. Who's
it's
Jamie
on Jamie. Jamie has. Who do we want to give Jamie?
Man, I don't know if there's really one where we can sewer Jamie here.
I say we give him Contreras.
I say you give him Pozo. Had a great day today.
That's a 3.
That's a 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, let's not do that. Okay, let's do that. Pozo.
He literally was just on.
Marsh was off on Monday, and he got all of his picks in.
I did.
So, yeah.
And Jamie did too. He picked Pozo, and I don't know why he did that.
Carey laughed when I had Pedro Pajes for Beat the Streak.
Nobody did. Nobody laughed.
No, I remember tuning in for that specific segment, and Carey's like...
So Carey laughed.
I think he heard. I think he's hearing things.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so Pozo off the
like
bench?
He told me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's... Right.
You know what? Give me Jordan Walker.
Okay. I would like Nolan Gorman, please. Throw me a curve and I will hit fingers. All right, there's your lineup game, and there is your home run derby calls. Tee off with the morning after at the return of the Dotem Golf Tournament, which is presented by Michelob Ultra, May 29th and 30th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort. Get your foursome together for a full day out on the course with TMA, including complimentary breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, all your Michelob Ultra, the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, a long drive contest courtesy of Pondoff's Anonymous Recovery Podcast, an after party with food from Texas Roadhouse on Thursday, as well as Super Smokers Barbecue on Friday. Registration is now open with a portion of proceeds benefiting the St. Louis Hero Network in honor of Brian McKenna. Find all the Dotem info now at 101ESPN.com. Got a couple of sports six-packs to get to. We'll start off with part one. If you got a question for us, text into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Part one, Sports Six-Pack, next.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
With Gary Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with question 1 for the Sports Six-Pack.
Ooh.
Question number 1.
All right, we have a very important question from the 618. Marsh, being the superstitious person you are, I'm in a predicament and need your opinion. All 4 games for the Blues, I have worn my Thomas regular home blue jersey with the Stanley Cup patch. Obviously, they only won at home. Do I switch my jersey to either a yellow Carey jersey or purple Hockey Fights Cancer Thomas jersey, both with Stanley Cup patches, since we are on the road? Or do I stick with the same regular home Thomas jersey? I said, when I replied, let's open this up for the group. What is your opinion on this, Anthony? Carey?
You have to switch it up. Clearly, the jersey
100%.
only works at home.
Correct.
And you're doing not only yourself, not only the Blues, but the entire city of St. Louis a disservice. If you wear that jersey tonight up at, as the Blues are up in Winnipeg. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to continue to be somebody that... I'm sorry, let me rephrase, because you're asking. Do you want to put the wants and needs in front of yourself, or for yourself, in front of the city of St. Louis and your Blues? And the fact that you're asking this goes to show that you're not that type of person.
Well,
so I believe that you are going to switch things up. And you already know they're the right answer, but you're looking for confirmation. I got no problem with that.
Maybe the stench wore off after the first 2 games, and maybe that's kind of how this person is thinking. You know, the stench.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I understand the question.
So if I keep it on, we won 2 in a row. So do you take it off?
No.
And they played well.
What's the one common denominator?
It's a trend, right? The home team wins.
Exactly. So he's got to break that.
So you know what I would do? He's been wearing the Thomas jersey. He has another Thomas jersey, right? So maybe we keep that good juju going and wear the Hockey Fights Cancer Thomas jersey.
I think he's got to go away from Thomas.
Why though? Because clearly
Thomas,
it's one or the other.
Combination of Thomas and the Blues in Winnipeg has led to what?
2 losses.
That's correct.
But what you could attribute it to that specific jersey.
Do you want to be? Now's not the time to be testing theories.
This is
now's
why
the time
I
to
brought
get
it to
done.
the group.
I like
so we
that.
can have a
That's what I'm
discussion, Anthony, not where you just take over and tell us what to do.
Have you? Is this your first day? This is his show. What the hell are you talking about, Marshy?
Can I ask you guys a question? I just got one question. Why is it when I'm being direct in my opinions, it's my show, and I'm bullying people?
Maybe it happens more than you know.
Right?
Yeah.
Why when I'm direct, I'm being mean?
It's just how we perceive it, you know? How about this? Carey likes the yellow gloves. He likes the yellow batting gloves of the Cardinals. He also likes the yellow Blues reverse retro jersey.
I do. I'm a fan. Something about that gold, man. I don't know.
And Carey's been very high on Jordan Carey this season.
I'm good with that.
Very high.
All right.
Why don't we go with the yellow jersey? If it doesn't work, we'll blame you, Anthony.
Me? Me? Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be blamed.
All say aye. Aye.
All right, perfect.
Question 2, please.
Question number 2.
That was good, guys.
Yeah.
All right, from 636.
And gals.
Which is worse?
It really is good, guys.
And gals. Which is worse?
Oh, I'm sorry. Eggplant emoji in the steak pit. Anthony, as far as I'm concerned, everyone can go fast lane themselves. I don't know why that hit me the way it did, but eggplant emoji.
Whoa, hold on a
second.
Splashback Deuce says the series has improved for the Blues throughout the series. The jersey is getting better every game.
the jersey only worked.
Did I not just say that?
You did, but
That's a great
Splashback
point
Deuce,
by
but
Splashback
you
Deuce.
and Splashback Deuce are both very smart. So you
Just
thought
not on this one?
No.
That was polite.
I don't. Listen. I think it's a solid idea.
I don't know.
It's a solid thought, but no.
Now I'm starting to. I don't think they should switch it up. The jersey has progressively made the team better.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like this idea. No.
Remember when you guys told me to switch some things up?
Droid FX said the
Before
jersey
game
has
3?
only worked at home, though. Yeah, we did. And what happened?
I didn't switch things up, and they won twice.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, you didn't pray over the couch either.
No.
Well, I never did, though.
Well, switch
That was
it up.
literally 14 years ago.
It's a championship run. It's all that matters. Sport doesn't matter. Championships, all that matter.
I'm with Droid FX. You got to change it up. You got to go with the road jersey. Say no jersey for you.
How about this? I have a good
No
idea.
jersey for you.
Got a good idea.
What?
Maybe it's not a good idea.
Okay.
Start with the yellow jersey.
No, don't be switching. No, I know where you're going with this. No.
If the team does not look good, change it up.
It doesn't matter.
Anthony, hockey is about in-game adjustments, and that goes for the fans that are watching the game too. If something's not working in the game, perhaps you switch some things up mid-game.
You can't be switching things up. You got to go in with a solid game plan, and I think you stick with that game plan. Unless it's just really, really, really bad. Yeah, no.
It's really, really bad.
It's really bad. This is really, really bad.
Brandon from the Snake Pit says, has anyone ever noticed that the two middle letters in FAST are AS, aka Anthony Stalter? I'll take that a step further. My middle initial is T.
Wow. How would that work with the spelling, though?
It's a little jumbled.
I was wondering.
It's a little jumbled.
AST?
Well, sometimes the middle initial is that first name, last name, or last name, first name, middle initial.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Well, we're going to go to question 2.
Question 2, please.
Question number 2.
All right, from 636, which is worse, springtime rain every day or almost every day? Cutting grass every other day because of said rain?
I love
or
cutting
watching your favorite sports team consistently lose games they should win? Let's go Blues. I got to go with number 3.
Well, if you're watching and they consistently lose, how much are you going to watch? Cutting grass for me, I have allergies, and when I tell you, I have had to leave places because of grass and pollen and the seasonal allergies. Like, I've been at picnics and barbecues.
That sucks.
And my eyes have swollen up, like sneezing uncontrollably. Like, I can't even breathe.
Yeah.
I got to get in some AC, get indoors.
Yeah.
So
I
for
do
me,
feel for you, man. I do.
grass.
My kids have bad allergies. My 2 boys have bad allergies. So I feel for you. I love cutting grass. Love it.
Brings you peace and joy.
It does, yeah. So I will not say that option. Watching the Cardinals has been rough, but I think that's the obvious choice, right? I got to go with number 1. This rain is starting to become annoying. Like, this rain is annoying.
Damn day. Hey.
I don't mind rain. It helps me sleep at night. I find it calming. But when it's every day and you
Then
feel like you're in
keep cutting
Seattle,
grass.
that part I don't mind, but I can't even get outside to cut the grass. Because it's raining too much.
We got a text from 314. Man, you guys got me so confused about jerseys. I'm just going to watch this game naked.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. You're welcome to the neighbors.
573 says, I'm sure this is really clearing things up for the texter. No added pressure at all. We're going to have to circle back tomorrow.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Marsh, did he specifically ask you?
Yes.
Then, Marsh, you got to make the call.
Wow.
I know that you brought it up for discussion, but this text
is exactly why I didn't want.
Yep.
This last texter is right.
You.
Wow. This is what I'll say. The last Blues game that I went to as a fan, we were down there about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wore that exact jersey, the yellow jersey, to the game, and the Blues won. So we'll go with the yellow jersey. But my gut says if things go south quickly, you put that other jersey back on because this team can make a comeback. That's just what I would do.
Okay. All right.
You hate it.
Out of all of the options, that's the one I like the least. But I can't put you in charge and then criticize your choice. So.
No, you hate it, Anthony.
I'm telling you I hate it, but we're rolling with you. In Marsh, we believe.
Question number 3.
From the 618 CD. How were your allergies when you played on real grass?
It's crazy. There's a couple people like that. I never really had any issues. Now, I would have, like, I remember when I was in Atlanta. Atlanta was the first place that I ever remember, and that was 04, 05, where I walked outside and my entire car was yellow.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fast lane is going on here?
That's like this.
Yeah. It's been, but that was the first time I recall seeing it.
Got it.
And my allergies were ridiculous. But playing, it didn't, I don't know, maybe running and you can't. Have you ever ran and sneezed?
No.
So maybe that's the answer.
Yeah.
I've never ran and sneezed.
Do you kind of hold your breath when you're running? I mean, maybe not long distance, but.
No, I don't know. I
don't know.
Never had an issue playing.
I don't know the science
with any
behind
allergies,
this.
But anytime I'm walking around in the facility, like Atlanta was bad for me. Like I would be outside and couldn't breathe. So yeah, it's pretty rough. But I don't know.
You want to do 3? Oh, that was 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 3.
Then let's carry this over, but we also going to have to do Beat the Streak. So Andy is going to rejoin us again for Beat the Streak. We'll do that. Then we'll get into part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. So keep those questions coming in, folks. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Part 2 of the Sixers next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals have already won one game today. We'll see if they can pick up their second victory of the day as they take on the Cincinnati Reds. A 6-0 victory earlier in the day. Game 2 starts here in less than 10 minutes. A 5:40 first pitch. Steven Matz is on the mound. The Blues take on the Winnipeg Jets tonight. Game 5. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 7:30. Puck drop is at 8:30. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interviews with Brad Thompson and Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll have Beat the Streak coming up next, followed by part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. So get those questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. That's coming your way next right here on 101 ESPN. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Before we get to part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack, we have Beat the Streak with our guy, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Hey, not too much. How you guys?
We're doing good. Be safe on. It sounds like you're on the road, so be safe out there, Andy. We'll
appreciate it.
We'll move quickly here. Marsh, what's the latest standings?
All right, so I have a streak of 8 right now.
Damn.
Anthony, you have a streak of 3. Carey had a streak of 4. Brendan Donovan did not get a base hit on Monday, so Carey's streak comes to an end. Jamie has a streak of 2, as well as Andy, and no listener so far has gotten past that 2 threshold, so we'll see if Andy becomes the first listener to do so.
Okay. Marsh, lead us.
I'm going to go with Victor Scott II tonight to get a base hit.
I'm gonna stay with Mason Wynn. He's been hot, so I'll go with Mason Wynn.
You ride the hot guy?
Yes, sir. Always. Andy.
I'm gonna go Ellie De La Cruz.
Okay. Jamie.
Jamie is going with. Well, guess you gotta have someone in the lineup, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, he'll take.
That's right. Wins.
He'll take Nolan Gorman. He likes Nolan Gorman.
That's right. Austin Wins is who Jamie's going to take.
Is that who he's taking?
Yep. Austin Wins.
All right. Why him?
Because he likes to win.
I like. Give me Spencer Steer.
Steer. Clear of that guy. All right. Marsh.
Yes.
You took
Victor Scott. II.
I took Mason Wynn. Andy took Ella De La Cruz. Jamie went with Austin Wins. And CD just took Spencer Steer. Andy, again, be safe out there, man. Thanks for playing. Andy, we'll see you, buddy. Okay, I'm just going to assume
Pretty
that,
sure.
I'm just going to assume that Andy's okay.
I didn't like your answer to the jersey question.
I'm just going to...
I didn't like it.
I'm just going to assume he's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, he just took a shot at you, too.
Marsh? Yeah. That's okay.
I said you didn't like your answer to the jersey question, sweater question.
Well, maybe. I'm starting to think that maybe he should just wear the same one.
This is why.
Marsh, you...
This is why.
You made him do it.
No, I don't like it.
I
didn't like his choice.
You gave him an
answer. I said the yellow jersey. Is that what we all agreed on?
Yeah, but then...
Now you're going back on it.
Switch it if things go south. But okay, fine. Fine. I'm not the one wearing it. It's up to him.
I know, but a Blues win is on the line.
I understand that.
A Blues Austin win is on the line.
Well, maybe it'll come down to the guy that decided to go naked tonight. Maybe it'll be his fault.
Or his doing.
Eddie said he's all good, bad reception.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, go ahead. Question 4, please.
I have a
question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question. Answer me. The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Question number 4.
All right, from the 636, besides the Cubs and the Blackhawks, are there any teams the Fast Lane regularly roots against?
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. And the Cleveland Browns. And the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. Yes.
And the Northwestern Wildcats. Not that anybody cares.
And for you, the Mizzou Tigers.
I don't root against Mizzou. I don't hate Mizzou.
Don't you?
I just don't like when people make them seem like they are, let's be honest here. Let's have an honest conversation.
Okay.
They haven't won jack.
There you go.
For me, it's the Dodgers, hands down. Not even close.
That is ridiculous.
Not even close.
So is this all of us individually, or is this like we're a team here? We're a team.
Well, we
and
are
we're
a
rooting
team.
against. There's one team in particular that we all don't like.
I perceive this is a individual award. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Dodgers.
Is there a team we collectively don't like?
Well, it should be the Dodgers, but
It's not my Dodgers.
Can we think of one?
Avalanche.
I don't like the Avalanche. I would assume.
Well, they took away the two that are easy.
Jamie doesn't like them either. I mean, none of us like the Los Angeles Rams, right?
No. But it's not a burning hot fire
hate the
of
Rams.
hatred like for the Dodgers.
I don't hate the Rams. I don't like the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Might be in that.
I don't like Ohio State.
Clearly. You don't like champions.
I grew up a Michigan fan. It's
because
great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
That makes my ears bleed.
Well, that's why you don't pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, buddy. That's why I didn't go there. They were singing that song over the phone.
Was that song even out yet?
Who knows? Probably. It's a dumbass song.
I'm in the zone, baby.
Ooh.
Question number 5.
Before we get to question 5, we have an answer to this whole uniform debacle. The 618 who asked the original question says, yellow Kyrou only because I think he's going to have a big game.
Okay.
I like that.
Sounds good.
So
It's fine by me.
Sound like he made the decision his damn self. He didn't need us at all.
Well, after he listened to us
ramble
go around and around and around and around.
I could have did this my damn self. Thanks, but no thanks, fellas.
Eggplant emoji, who's the arch rival of the Fire Up Chips, Anthony? That would be Western Michigan, and that's a good call. Go fast lane yourself, Broncos.
The 314 wants to know what happens first. And this is a tough question. City SC wins a game. The Cardinals make the playoffs, or the Blues win the cup. So we have two, pretty astounding accomplishments.
Can you read that again?
Yeah. What happens first? City SC wins a game or a match. That's the correct verbiage.
Yeah,
Anthony.
match. Yep, on the pitch. Yep.
Cardinals make the playoffs, or Blues win the cup.
City wins a match.
Yeah, City wins a match.
You're going to win.
Just by, I'm just going to take the odds on this one. Yeah. Brandon says CD just said he doesn't like the Lakers. Aren't they winners? That's a great point and question, Brandon.
When was the last time they won?
They won in the bubble, which didn't count.
We don't count that one. In 2012?
Yep.
Yeah. How they finished the other years? Dead last? I actually don't know.
I don't really. Don't know.
Marcelo Zuna's alarm clock says it's really weird for CD to like the Dodgers and not the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. You know what's crazy, though? When I did live in L.A. for about a year, I started watching Kobe Bryant. Like how it was almost like when I was a kid watching Michael Jordan every single night. I got to watch the Lakers play pretty much every single night. And I was like, damn, this dude is really, really good. Like, it's different when you get to watch You catch a game here and there, it's a nationally televised game. You're like, okay, he can ball. But when you get to watch somebody like 80+ games, you're like, this dude can really, like every single night, this is what you do. No wonder you're getting paid $60 million a year. Like, you're really good at your job. Yeah. So, but no, not a Lakers fan.
Question number 6.
From the 573, I am not much of a hockey fan, but whenever it comes to the Blues and the playoffs or making a playoff push, I become a major hockey fan for the city. Does that make me a bandwagon fan?
I don't think so.
It's almost the definition of it, isn't it?
No. I don't think so.
You jump on.
Nah.
Well, you hadn't been riding the entire time.
I think there's tiers to this thing. Like the top tier would be what Carey is with the Dodgers.
Yes.
That's like top tier.
Yes. Well said.
The example
of jumping on when you have no business jumping on.
The next tier would be you becoming a Chiefs fan for
now that is
like a limited time.
For a month or two.
Fan.
Not a month.
That's a bandwagon fan.
I guess this.
Actually, you know what? I think we might flip these because at least Carey's consistent.
Correct.
With it, so that would lower the tier. Whereas you are like picking like 1 or 2 months.
No, I'm respectful though. I'm a Falcons fan, and when they fall short 7 straight postseason, non-postseason appearances, then I respectfully ask if I can be a Chiefs fan, and Chiefs fans tell me no, and I do it anyways. So
when did you become a fan of the number 1 seeded Florida Gators in the tournament?
Before the tournament.
Before the tournament? After they were the number 1 seed? Number 1 seed?
When I filled out the 101 ESPN bracket, I picked the Florida Gators.
Oh, yeah. So when they were number 1 seed.
Carey, even Marsh is like pretty impressive that you have called now 3 straight national title winners.
It is.
But you, not so much.
Nah. You chose a team that beat the hell out of my line that one year. We didn't score 30 points for almost 30 minutes.
I didn't even know the Illini were in that game.
They didn't either in the second half.
Can you be
30-0 run?
Can you be considered a bandwagon fan if you have a little do-re-mi on a team?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I think it's separate.
I think so too. It's
a separate
situation.
Like
tier 3 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not rooting for them at that point. You're rooting for the money.
Yeah.
All right. Is that 6? We did it. Nice job, guys. Well done. Look at me. Well done. Actually, don't you dare. That was a test. That's a test.
Looked right in your eyes. Looked right in your eyes, and
I didn't look up.
No, I feel weird now.
Good job, Carey.
It's like putting the ring from Lord of the Rings. You like put it on, you turn into like a different person.
I didn't look up. He said, "Look in my eyes."
I looked right at him.
I looked down. I said, "Oh,
nice job, guys."
Yeah, you're not supposed to look at it. It's like no, it's more like what is it? Indiana Jones. You're not supposed to look at the What is that thing called?
The Holy Grail. Not the Holy Grail.
No.
He hadn't seen any damn Indiana Jones.
Right. I was about to say
took
something.
a deep breath like he was actually thinking about it.
It's called the Grail.
Not the Holy Grail.
The genie bottle thing.
Oh, the Ark of the Covenant.
That's right. That's right.
You knew that. You knew that, Anthony.
He has no clue.
You knew that.
All right, when we come back, we'll tell you what we learned. We will give you 3 stars of the day and maybe some criticisms and compliments next. I was at a client event one time for Mosby Building Arts, and this is before I had an opportunity to become a Mosby client myself, but I was talking to some people that used Mosby to do some design work. So one person redid a bathroom, and another person had several jobs, like kitchen, some outdoor stuff, maybe like an outdoor kitchen or something like that, and then a master bath. Like, they did a couple things. And what I loved learning about from these people that worked with Mosby, not workers, but clients of Mosby, they said, I love Mosby because when they come in, I don't want to be completely overwhelmed with a bunch of different options. I just want their design team, their experts, to give me maybe 2 to 3 options on, countertops or tiles or whatever they're doing. I love that about them, and it made the whole process easier. I talked to another person who worked with Mosby, and they said, I love the fact that their design team will give me like 15 to 20 different options. So Mosby Building Arts, they're all about you, the client. They want to make sure that you feel great about whatever, remodel is being done. The style fits your style. It fits the rest of the home. They can offer suggestions, whether it's 2 to 3 or it's up to 20, and you can feel great about the project. And when the project starts, you can guarantee that Mosby Building Arts, they got honest pricing. They deliver that high-quality work, designers with great taste, trustworthy construction team. When I became a client of Mosby myself, I learned all of that with Mosby. They're the real deal. So don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today and see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Starting off with Andrew Marsh.
I learned that there's a gentleman in the St. Louis area that will be naked tonight as he watches Game 5 between the Blues and the Jets.
Good call. Carey, what'd you learn?
I learned from the text line that you have 2 basketball segments back-to-back. They get a little upset.
Yeah, especially even though we turned the one into a local.
Hey, we're basketball again.
Yeah. All right. Stick to sports, just the ones we want to hear about.
Well, then text in on Freedom Friday.
There you go.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
That's right.
Until then, never mind.
You're choosing to be nice?
Yeah. Choosing kindness.
Yeah. I learned. Well, I didn't learn. It was reaffirmed today that Carey Davis is a genius. Because when I decided to give Jamie Rivers Wilson Contreras in the home run derby, Carey talked me out of it and said, no, he wants Poso off the bench. And after Wilson Contreras hit a 3-run homer in the first inning, I thank you, Carey
Going
Davis.
off of what he sent me.
Nice job.
You know?
Yeah. Brandon says, fast lane them, keep talking about basketball, and let's get an NBA team.
Yes, Brandon, I'm with you. I would be a season ticket holder.
You'd be delighted.
I would be there every chance I got.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, congratulations. I believe Joey is our winner for Bet the Board. You're probably wondering, where's Bet the Board today? We don't need it because Anthony won this month for Joey.
It's back-to-back. Joey, congratulations. You believed in me. I believed in you. Got a little rough there at the end, but we brought home a dub for you. So, Joey, congrats. So we'll redraft tomorrow as I go for 3 months in a row.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay. Ready for...
It's never been done, Marsh.
It has not, actually.
I don't think anybody's gone back-to-back.
No, I did last year.
It's never been done. 3 in a row. Like I said, 3 in a row. Never been done.
Okay.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day, presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
Sounds about right.
All right, our 3rd star of the day is going to go out to that yellow Jordan Kyrou jersey. I think we all came to an agreement that will be the jersey that our listener will be wearing tonight. So, better win tonight. Our 2nd star of the day goes out to the legend of Jordan Bennington. He once caught a puck barehanded, according to legend.
Yes,
yep. And with his teeth.
And with his teeth.
Took his mask off. Didn't need it.
Someone said something on the text line about lightning bolts shooting out of play. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know about that. We'll have to fact check on that.
Well, yeah, you never know.
You know how we like to do that.
Of course. 1st star of the day, this one was pretty easy. It goes out to the baby in the bathwater.
Oh, man.
Learned about it. Yeah, nice job, CD.
Dirty water.
This fits well with criticisms and compliments. Splashback Deuce from the Snake Pit says, LOL, no one asked, where's Bet the Board? No one missed it.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know.
So we will eliminate Bet the Board starting tomorrow.
It looks like no one will ever go back to back to back.
That's correct. Not like the Cardinals did earlier. So, boy, it's tough.
Sorry that you feel that way.
That'll do it for us. We got pregame at 7:30 for Blues and Jets. We've got the puck drop at 8:30 for Blues and Jets. Right here on 101 ESPN, of course, Blues Radio Network. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya. Go Blues.